love, eat!
Hello. Yes. What episode is this? Episode 3 of the Kittens and Cream podcast?
I have no idea.
No,
I just got here.
I lose count after the big numbers. 3/18.
It's episode 4, but it's actually episode 47.
Yeah.
You lost a 7 somewhere.
4/47.
Yeah.
So do you listen to any podcasts?
I don't normally listen to any podcasts
Right.
on my spare time. I usually listen to other things. Like, I'm more of a music guy, so I listen to a lot of music. I really kind of just stick to music and whatever scary stories I feel like listening to here and there.
Like a creepypasta?
Yes, creepypastas. You should check out Mr. Creepypasta on YouTube.
Yeah, he's
one
great.
of my favorites. Yeah, he's wonderful. He has such a good voice.
Yeah. I actually met him.
You met him?
Yeah, he was at Comic-Con
Oh,
one year.
really?
Yeah, he lives there pretty much. He's always there.
Huh. Oh, yeah, because I keep seeing the ads where he'll put up, like, yeah, I'm going to this con or that con. It's like, time for Comic-Con. I'm just like, oh, my God. I have no money.
It's actually really cheap to go there.
Oh, really?
Comic-Con, not Comic-Con.
The Comic-Con.
The one in Birmingham, Comic-Con.
Comic-Con, yeah, I think, isn't it like $20, $30?
Yeah, something super cheap. That's a lot of fun, too.
And let's talk prices. Play the Price is White.
The Price
The
is
Price
White.
is White. Oh no.
I guess that was the show back in the 50s.
Yes. It was really called The Price is White, but then changed it due to ratings. Like, yeah, we can't be racist even though we feel that way. It's okay. We can't be public or can you see words? No. Can't be publicly racist.
No.
The Price is Right, but you wouldn't take us to Comic-Con. That'd be pretty fun.
I love how they haven't changed their theme music in like 60 years.
They haven't?
The Price is Right.
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about Comic-Con. I was just like, I think they update pretty frequently.
Yeah.
They've been around for 60 years.
Wow. I don't think they've been around for 60 years.
Yeah, I don't think anime's been around that long. Like, true, like the anime we know today. I don't think
the
it's
good anime.
Yeah,
Unless you count like Astro Boy.
Or you count like Fist of the North Star.
Yeah.
Fist of the North Star. I don't care how badass they were supposed to make it. It would turn out just super funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch you 15 times, walk away, say something, and you're going to blow up.
It's great.
Yes, it's great.
I haven't actually seen Astro Boy. I don't know why I'm criticizing it.
I have never seen Astro Boy. I have only seen like bits and pieces of the trailer for the remake that they had back like 5 years ago.
The remake they did for some reason.
Yeah, like it's around the same time that they were doing remakes for like they were doing sequels for Madagascar, like Madagascar 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And
I never watched any of those after 2.
I watched 2 and it was like Escape to Africa, and it's just like, how did they get away with the name?
Escape to Africa. I like the penguins. That was my favorite part of the movies.
Oh yeah, the penguins are the best part of those movies. That's probably what they should center the story around.
Well, they did have the show.
Oh yeah,
the penguins of Madagascar.
The show is actually pretty alright. They just they didn't expand on like a lot of the environments that they would go into. Like say like they're like super agents or secret agents, but they only never leave the zoo except for like 2 or 3 times, and that's just like whenever they like shut off somewhere to go do something or whatever, and they just kind of kept it confined in that one little space, and that's probably why I lost interest in it. But for what it was and the humor in it, it really lived up to the Madagascar name.
I should review it sometime.
Yeah, that'd be really I'd want to be on that.
Do a collab.
Yeah. Welcome back, this is your boys. We're doing a collab.
Yay.
We say collab because we don't feel like saying the whole word.
We just don't have that kind of time. We're busy people.
We could say collaboration, but it takes too much time. My body is disintegrating. I've become old.
So what would your YouTube name be?
My YouTube name?
Or the channel name?
The YouTube channel name, by the way, be me and then a couple other friends. I'm pretty sure it's going to be my buddy Zach and Alex who are going to be part of it. And maybe a couple other people. I can see if I can find somebody who can do editing and stuff. You know, you're a good editor.
Yes, I can do this.
I definitely have you on. Another buddy of mine that's really good at editing, and we just want to. I really don't know what the name would be right now. It's kind of like thrown up in the air.
What if you just combine all your names together?
Zach, Alex, and Shylock. That's gonna be a weird combination.
Yeah.
Zalek Hook Gaming. Fuck gaming.
Zalika. That's like an old space shooter.
Zalaga. It's like the arcade port that they couldn't get into the arcade.
The rip-off.
Yeah. You got the console port that comes with like the other 50 games that aren't really any good.
Oh no, the plug-and-play consoles.
Even worse, like the wannabe Atari 2500 console.
No. The controller.
Oh no, like the cheap plastic controllers that break when you touch them the wrong way. That's so bad.
And the joysticks that don't recenter, they just kind of stay where you leave them.
My favorite part about games is when, or Masto controllers, is when the joystick sticks to where it'll stick forward.
Yeah.
And you're playing like a hack and slash game, so you can just lock it in forward mode and just power through whatever, and you can just do whatever.
I hate it when I was the friend that would get stuck with the crappy third-party controller.
The old cliche. Oh man, I remember that. I used to live off of third-party controllers because I was a broke kid.
The N64 ones were the worst.
Oh, the N64 ones are just... I played with one that was weirdly shaped. They didn't have the third leg to it.
It's so weird. I think I have one of those.
Yeah, the one where it's like looks like you had to hold it like this. It's got the arrow keys and the joystick right here, and it's got the buttons. And like for some reason, you have to hold it with two hands, and the other hand to center it perfectly. You have to turn your hand at like a 45-degree angle on the buttons.
I mean, that was a weird controller anyway. Like the one from Nintendo.
Nintendo just needs to chill and stop making like gaming shit for aliens. We don't have that capacity.
I have this image on my computer of someone holding an N64 controller, but there's a third hand in the picture. So that's who it was made for. People with three hands.
Made for people with arm dicks. With hands.
Oh my.
Oh yes. Hey, you said there was no...
Oh yeah, no censorship at all.
Yeah, it's the new rule, kids. Get with it.
I haven't checked my demographics in a while. I wonder who's watching my channel.
This is gonna be the point where people start realizing that your demographic isn't just for kids.
Yeah, maybe not.
I'm a friendly guy, but my friends are a little bit crazy. They start screaming the fuck words. And
oh no.
Eating food out of people's fridges that they don't know.
I do that.
Yeah, I wish I could, but I don't hang out with people I don't know.
That'd be weird if you did.
Yeah, that would be weird.
I don't know these people. I'm gonna go ask if I can hang out with them.
The new neighbors just moved in, and I guess I could ask them for a little burrito out of their freezer.
Yes.
Like the frozen burritos. The ones that are like the El Monterey ones. Like, not to put like brands or anything, just like scratch that.
Yeah.
The burritos that are frozen that come in like the 12 packs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this like broke people burritos.
I secretly love those.
Me too. Like, the chimichangas are my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still denying it.
Yes. What's your favorite junk food?
What's my favorite junk food?
Yes. Food that's just terrible for you, but you love it anyway.
Junk food that is terrible, but I love it anyway. That's a hard decision. Actually, I think my favorite junk food would have to be... that's a really hard one. I eat a lot of junk food. I don't really have a favorite food. I just like it all. I'd have to say my...
just all the junk food.
Just go with a classic. You know what? I'm going to name my favorite Dorito. Because Doritos are like...
Doritos are God tier.
Yes. But my favorite Doritos... Oh, sorry. My favorite Doritos are the spicy sweet chili ones.
Yes.
Yes, those are my favorite. And then there's the... they had the Doritos Jacked. And it was the...
They had one flavor that had like a... kind of a lime flavor with it.
Yeah, the chili lime stuff they were doing. Yeah,
I like that one.
Those are pretty good. The Dorito, I Why does it slip me every time? It's the ranch stiff buffalo wings flavor from the Jack series that they had, and it was wonderful. Just epic. Like, had a very nice experience with those.
You a Dorito connoisseur?
I am the Dorito connoisseur.
Connoisseur.
Just like I'm a guy and just like a wife beater with a bunch of like Dorito dust all over him, and he comes in there, busts in with like ripped up jeans, listening to Leonard Skinner. He's like, "I'm a true American. I'm gonna tell you how these Doritos taste." Some go Doritos. Give me your Doritos.
Were you a fan of the Dorito taco? Did you ever try that?
Yeah, I have a good number of times. The only reason I try them though is because they come with the $5 boxes that Taco Bell does.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at me. I can only afford like Taco Bell and shit like that. So
that's okay. Taco Bell's great.
I mean, yeah, for what it is, like for what the price you're paying, it's good. It's good food.
I love how it just doesn't taste like any other place. It tastes like Taco Bell.
Taco Bell just has so many like preservatives and flavor additives that you're just like, you can't get that kind of artificial like cancer anywhere else.
Contains 3% meat.
Contains 5% radiation.
Oh no. Taco spelled backwards is cat.
It's like you eat 17 tacos in a row. Next thing you know, you start growing an extra finger on your hand.
Well, that's different.
Mommy, why is my face melting?
Oh. I hate it when that happens.
My eye fell off and is crawling away. The dog is splitting into two.
Oh no.
What Fallout world is this?
I wonder what dog tastes like.
I wonder what dog tastes like.
I shouldn't be asking these things.
I feel like there's a bad joke in there where the whole like Asian demographic is just like, I can like goes like a burst through the YouTube comments and it's just like, I can tell you what it tastes like. But yeah, luckily we don't condone that kind of racism on the show.
No.
I don't even know why I'm saying that. This is my first time on, and I'm making the rules.
You're in charge of the show now. You're the executive producer.
See that? I'm dubbed the new executive producer. I've come to see how our guys are doing down here on the bottom floor.
He's wearing a very nice suit, by the way. You can't see this, but...
It's a really nice suit. It's got a bow tie, and there's like a smiley face on one part of the bow tie.
There's two bow ties.
Oh yeah, I
super
forgot.
Fancy.
I wear like a double bow tie, and it's not two bow ties. It's one big long bow tie tied into two bow ties.
Okay.
And there's a smiley face on one bow piece. And there's a little heart on like one that's down and across from it, and then there's like a mushroom right here.
You've thought about this bow tie.
Yeah, not just any mushroom. It's a mushroom with an orange spot.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's supposed to symbolize that, you know, not all mushrooms are perfect. And then there's like a car crash right here on the last one because, you know, what's happiness without little chaos.
I love it when people have tattoos because there's always some interesting story behind them. Well, this represents so and so, and I don't know.
You know, yeah, there's people that get the tattoos. It's just get the meaningful tattoos, and those are really cool because they'll get them like on their arm. And they'll like symbolize like, hey, look, these people are my relatives, they passed away. And then there's, you know, hey, look, this is my buddy, he's, you know, my best friend, I have him tattooed on there. And then there's the people that get like this whole intricate like dragon tattoo, and it's just like, what's that supposed to symbolize? Yeah, it's always a fucking dragon or something that you think is badass at first, and then you make this really good design, and then somebody asks you like, what happened, like, you know, why did you get that tattoo, what's the meaning behind it? And they're just like, oh, I got fucking drunk one night, and I was just like, give me a fucking dragon. And then I ended up paying like $500 for like the two halves, and I never drank again because I spent all my money.
I mean, if I got a tattoo, there wouldn't be a cool story behind it. I would get a cherry or something, and people would ask, why'd you get that? I don't know, I like cherries.
I had a cherry once, and I was just like,
good.
Oh, I had an epiphany. I had to go get a tattoo
on my forehead.
A giant cherry bloomed out of my bathtub when I was going
bloomed out of the bathtub, huh?
Yeah, it bloomed out of the bathtub when I got up for my morning coffee, and I went to the bathroom, and in the bathtub a bright red light shone, and a cherry came out.
This happened.
It had the face of Nicolas Cage. And he was like, I have the Declaration of Independence, and you need to get a tattoo of a cherry. It'd be pretty fucking cool. And then he just floats away.
Nicolas Cage is the best / worst actor ever.
He's like the actor that you don't want to see in things, But then you see in things, and you're just like, hey, look, it's Nicolas Cage.
Yay.
And you're like, yay, maybe I'll watch it. And then you watch it, and you're just like, I don't think Nicolas Cage was meant for that role.
Sometimes he's a good actor, though.
Like, he's a good actor, but they put him in the worst spots for films.
Yeah.
Like, National Treasure was okay. Like, they had enough, like, breathing room for him to put himself as a character.
Yeah, they put him in a movie. He's got, like, a really phony southern accent. I can't remember the name of the movie. But it was so bad.
Now, what I think is the craziest idea is how they'll take actors and they'll put them in spots, like, not their comfort zone. Not something that you think they'd easily have, like, a way around the role with. Like, Nicolas Cage and Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we want goofy Nick Cage, but we don't want goofy Nick Cage on our, soul-burning vengeance rider who has a flaming skull and can burn people with his eyes.
Not for the role.
Yes.
But sometimes it works out, though. You got, like, Jim Carrey. He's really good when he does serious acting, I think.
Yeah, Jim Carrey is a pretty versatile actor. I mean, his roots are in comedy. Like, let me tell you, like, the weirdest decision ever made by, like, a movie production company was whenever they did Tropic Thunder, and they had Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, yeah, he was
playing
a
guy
black
of
character.
African American descent.
An African American, yes.
Like, who had that bright ass idea? I mean, I understand, like, yeah, it's Robert Downey Jr. and I love Robert Downey Jr. But, like, you don't have to, you don't have to stretch that far to get Robert Downey Jr. in your movie. You could have, like, plenty of really cool African American actors that could have played his spot, but
It's
you
not
chose
like they're an endangered species. I mean,
yeah, you chose the like bowling pin stoned Robert Downey Jr. to play that role.
I know.
I mean, did he do a good job? I mean, of course.
Yeah.
But, you stretch that far. Like, you have, like, people like Wayne Brady who could have done a really good Yeah, Wayne.
What's he doing these days?
Yeah, where's Wayne Brady? Like,
he's on that game show.
Yeah, whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, he was on that. He was the host of a game show.
He also did some skits with Dave Chappelle too. He's pretty funny in movies.
Oh yeah.
He got shot in one movie in the ass. His character got shot in the ass.
That was a good story.
Yeah. a trip and fell over and I shot him in the ass.
Wait, did he really get shot or did this character get shot?
The character got shot.
Okay.
Now, if he got shot in the ass, then I wouldn't be, like, calm about it. I'd have been like, yeah, he got shot in the ass.
Oh my. So did Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump got shot in the ass too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
And then he showed the president, I think, his battle scar. Oh, that was a good movie.
He had a life, man. He had messed up legs, and then he learned how to run. He got to see a naked chick play guitar on stage. He got shot in the ass.
Yeah. Oh, the book is even crazier though, because he goes into space. He's like an astronaut for a while.
He goes to fucking space?
Yeah.
Forrest
Gump. Well, I guess Homer Simpson went to space once too. So.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand. Homer Simpson's like, a cartoon character, and you expect that from him. But Forrest Gump is just like, I'm in space. What's the mission, Captain?
That would have been really out of place in the movie.
Yeah,
Forrest in space.
Like, think about it, it's like he's in the war and he's just like his buddies, like taking his last breath. Taking his last breath, and he's just like, I remember that time I was in space, and they just cut away to him being in space, like just for like 2 seconds, and then they go back to the flight.
It's like 3 seconds of the story he's telling is the part he's in space.
Yeah. I went to space once, cuts away, and he's just in space, like,
let me tell you about my shrimp boat. This is more exciting.
Yeah, because why didn't they ever... Yeah, that's all why did he ended up going into space for real?
In the book.
In the book, like...
I mean, I don't think this is based on a real person or anything.
Forrest Gump was based on a real person.
It was?
Yeah, Bubba Gump's shrimp. Yeah, there's a restaurant based around him. He's like a real person. It's just, I don't know what they were doing with the book.
I don't know.
We're fucking trying to sell shrimp here. Like,
yeah.
We're gonna put him in space.
Let's put him in space.
He's like, yeah, I've never went to space. I don't like space in my entire life. I hate it. It's just like, yeah, we're gonna put you in space, and he's like, no, and then he's just, it's gone. The shrimp legacy lives on in space.
Yes, Space Shrimp. Space Shrimp, the musical.
Should be the name of the episode. Space Shrimp.
Yeah,
musical.
I'll be sure to put that like in the title of this video.
Mhm.
Space Shrimp. That's one of the topics we talked about.
Dun 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 dun. We're brine. Shrimp.
Have you heard about this crazy diet I'm on?
Oh wait, you're on what diet are you
I've
on?
decided to cut out all processed sugar for a while.
How are you looking?
It's been tough. It's been tough.
It's like his soul's hanging on, just like sheer willpower is holding him to this world.
Yeah.
This moment he just lets it go, he's just gonna fade away.
Sugar is in everything.
Yeah, sugar isn't everything. You're not gonna be able to avoid sugar without.
I've just been living off of apples and potatoes. Pretty much. That's not enough.
Yeah, apparently the human diet can survive on potatoes and butter, according to one of those little Facebook posts.
Yeah, I saw that.
I wonder if that's true. If that's the case, then I've been all wrong about eating French fries all the time in like copious amounts.
Yeah. Well, the potatoes are good for you. I don't think the oils and stuff. Too much salt. Yeah, potatoes are great though.
They are. They're the most versatile food on the planet.
Most versatile.
Yes. You can make them into fries.
Oh,
you
yes,
can make
yes.
them into mashed potatoes.
Yes.
Potatoes au gratin.
Yes, I love that.
I love whatever that was.
Au gratin.
Yes, the little, they cut them in
Really
little
thinly
circles.
sliced potatoes with cheese and stuff.
Yeah, those are wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have hash, you know, like the fucking hash browns. and
Yeah,
shit.
hash brown.
Yeah, like, potatoes can be made into anything. You can make them into alcohol,
That's true.
vodka. The Russians knew what the fuck was going on. They were just like, we have potato, we make vodka. They already knew what they were gonna call it. They were just like, we make vodka out of potato. What is vodka? Let me show you, comrade.
Oh, I need to have you do a Russian character one day. A cartoon character.
Oh, I know somebody who does a really good Russian accent. Yeah, Zach.
Zach.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll get him to jump on it.
Cool.
Do some fake Russian accent.
Russian.
Yeah, Russian. Do a wee bit of an Irish accent. Irish. A wee bit of an Irish accent. Can't believe you put me on the show.
I love thick Irish accents. They're the best.
So thick that when they say words, two C's come out instead of one.
Yeah.
The joke got me. Yeah. I am serious about the gaming video thing. If we can get everybody together and just make that happen.
Oh, I'm definitely on board if you need me.
Alright.
What games did you have in mind?
I really wanted to play anything. Just anything that gives for good laugh value.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be a good game. Like, I like Final Fantasy games, of course. You know, like, I want to play a couple of those. Like, get one that's like really goofy or like goofy looking and just kind of like base off of that.
Oh, back when Cloud was like a unicorn with 2x4 arms.
Yes. Back when Cloud had his big square arms, he could bludgeon people in with.
And his giant butter knife.
His giant butter knife. His giant kitchen knife with a hole in it.
Yep.
And you gave him even fancier kitchen knives. And then you got like Tifa who can like body slam a train. Cause like
I was in Final Fantasy VI, where one of the boss fights is a train. You can do a suplex on it.
Yeah, you can suplex the train with the one move. I can't remember the character's name because I wasn't familiar with Six. But
Sabin.
yeah, Sabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. There's this game I'm playing on my phone called it's like Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia,
Oh yeah.
and you can get all kinds of characters on there, and Sabin was one of them.
Mm-hmm. I've never played any of those, but I listen to the remixes of Final Fantasy songs they have in those games.
Yeah, the like the remasters for like 3D versions and stuff. They're really good. They did a bunch of 3D remasters for
Yeah, they did one for Final Fantasy 3. They remade it in 3D for the DS. I think they did 4 too. They were gonna do 6, but they didn't do it.
Because 6 was apparently the best game.
Yeah,
Up to the until the 3D era came along.
What's your favorite of the PlayStation ones? Have you played them all?
The PlayStation, like as in like the first PlayStation, or the whole
PS1.
PlayStation era? The PlayStation 1 era?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 7 through 9.
It would probably, I'd say my favorite, nostalgia-wise, would be 9, because
I
as
love
a kid,
9.
yeah, 9, I used to watch my aunt play it when she was in high school, and I was like 5 or 6, and I'd sit there and watch her play 09.
Yeah.
But for like story value and like character value, like I like 7 a lot, because Cloud's like one of my favorite characters. I always had a connection with him. He's been my side bae for a long time. Love his pointy blonde hair and his big blocky arms.
So charming. Did you like 8 at all? I know that one.
I like the characters.
You do?
Yeah, I never really played 8, but I looked at the story and I read through it and like learned the lore, and I like the characters from it because of the other games, like Resident games, because you got Leon Squall. He's actually really good in the mobile game that I'm playing.
Why do people call him Leon exactly? They never called him that in the game. I know they called him Leon in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. I think his name's like Leon Squall, or I think that's his nickname is Squall.
Squall Leonhart. Lionheart.
Yeah.
Something like that.
He's too edgy.
Oh, he's so edge.
Yeah. He's always just like, nobody understands me. Why am I fighting?
He's so brooding.
That's the stupidest final boss. Because you have to fight the final boss, which is this witch lady.
Ultimecia.
Yeah. Ultimecia has like 3 different forms. You fight her, then you fight her lackey, big giant demon
the
donkey.
legendary beast or whatever.
Yeah, and then they fuse together. And then you have to get...
That battle takes like 2 hours.
Yeah, because you have to beat them, and they're all like ridiculously like HP amount. Ridiculously HP amount.
Yeah, ridiculously HP amount.
Yeah.
And they all have their own theme song.
They have big attack, big defense. They have their own fucking theme songs.
I felt sorry for the composer because he had to make a theme song for all of those guys for that one battle with all those.
We have 3 compositions for one battle. What the fuck is going on?
Those are some pretty long songs too.
They are. 30-minute. Really, thing is that they create like a piece and then they loop it.
Yeah. So they're all infinitely long. Then.
Like I would sit there and I played D&D with some buddies, and I would sit there and put on like Final Fantasy music from different games and just play like 30 minutes worth of it.
Yeah. The soundtrack for Final Fantasy VIII is over 4 hours long. So there's a pretty big soundtrack there.
For a pretty big flop. Everybody hated the junctioning system.
Yeah. The junctioning system that they explained once. You're supposed to absorb all of it. There's no tutorials you can review or anything.
You have to get better weapons to get better junctioning systems, and you have to link your things to that system.
Exciting.
I want to do a playthrough of it, but I don't want to play it myself. I want to watch somebody else play it.
I still like that game a lot. Good memories with it. There's really no reason to level up though, because the enemies all level up with you.
Yeah, they all stay at a certain cap to where you can beat them, but they're gonna kick your ass regardless.
Yeah.
Stupid. You're supposed to get strong. You're supposed to. The way they did Final Fantasy X was my favorite.
That was my favorite.
Because, for one, they didn't level everything up with you. You had different areas that you could travel. Oh, sorry, I'm far away.
Oh.
You could travel to different areas. And each area had like the level cap, right? So you go back and you're like high up on the sphere grid, and you've got like the legendary weapons. And you go back to like Besaid, the first world. You meet Wakat, and you can just one hit kill everything.
It had a great system, and you didn't have to use it at all. It's possible to beat that game without using the sphere grid at all.
You just got to be smart and collect a bunch of items. I tried beating it without using the sphere grid too much.
That's a pain. You got to at least learn flee. So you can run away from battles.
Sometimes you can't flee. Sometimes you just have to get your shit right.
Yeah.
I got stuck so much on that game. There's 2 different parts I got stuck on. I got stuck on when you fight the Guardian of Pavel,
Yeah.
the first time on the airship, when you fight him, I got stuck on that. And
There's some tough fights if you weren't prepared.
when you fight him the second time in the Via Perfeco, I did not know that he had the zombie virus at first. Or this, not zombie virus. It's Resident Evil.
T virus.
Yeah, he had the fucking T virus. But yeah, he has the zombie ailment.
Yeah.
And you could throw Phoenix down on
You
him.
just get them in one hit.
Yeah, and I didn't know that. And when I went and started playing through it through the PS3 remaster, I learned that, and I was just like,
the mechanics are really good for the battle system.
oh yeah, because they put it in conditional turn-based, and the conditional,
yes.
the countermeasuring balance rate
Yes.
battle system is wonderful because it gives you time to plan out, and you know each turn affects a later turn, and then you can kind of plan that out, and it gives, I guess, just a simpler battle strategy instead of having to wait on your meter to fill up. And
Be very strategic.
And you don't waste anything, because then, by the time you've got everybody, say you're playing 7, and by the time you've got everybody locked onto an enemy, and you're just like, kill it, and everybody's like, what about me? I had a whole, wait for that attack. Each turn, the turns kind of meld in together. I guess, I know what they were going for. They went for, kind of wanted a real time, but they couldn't make it real time, because it was an RPG, so they were just like, yeah, well, different time bars for everybody.
Well, they had the active time system before that. Final Fantasy VII and such.
Yeah.
So it was kind of real time.
Yeah. Active time.
Active time, yes.
They'd stand there for a couple minutes and just be like, I'm about to hit you. Watch out. Ah, fuck. Okay, I gotta wait my turn.
Or if they did that in boxing or UFC or something, I can't hit you, I gotta wait my turn.
Special move, triple uppercut.
You have to announce the moves you're doing too, like an RPG.
Booyah!
Chaos uppercut, or something silly like that.
Beat rush. I know what I do whenever I use beat rush.
You just beat rush.
I used beat rush on the meat stick.
Oh no.
It failed. Don't make me use beat rush on you. Just threaten people with Final Fantasy moves. Don't make me use cross slash on you, use swine.
Not cross slash.
Octo slash instead.
Octo slash.
Use that move where Sephiroth takes the whole planet and crashes.
Oh yeah, he destroys Jupiter for that one attack.
The one that takes too long to do, and every time he does it, he had to sit through it.
Oh, and I get so tired of watching summons too, because they all take so long.
See, I like what they did in 10, and you can shorten the summon sequences.
Yeah, the short version.
This is like, I'm tired of seeing Bahamut blast through the sky like a badass. I just want to see him pop up on the ground. Dude, the summons were so badass in there. They had fucking Yojimbo, which had Zanmato, which is like the instant kill move. It doesn't even drop their HP.
You gotta pay him though.
If you're actually, the way they built him is that if you get an affinity towards him, or you do certain things to gain an affinity towards him, he actually will start dropping his prices lower and lower. Oh. And you can pay him like 2,200 or 20,000 or 2,000, whatever you want to pay him, and he'll do it anyway. Sometimes he'll do it for free. Like, he's done that with I used to watch Alex play through on the HD remaster a while back, and he would sit there and summon Yojimbo, and he'll look at him and nod, and we're like, what? And he just
what is this
for free. Sometimes he'll send in he has 3 different moves. He has what's Wakizashi, which is a little small blade where he attacks, and then he has Daiguro, which is his dog. And if he, the least he values your cash giveaway or whatever you give him, he'll send Daiguro as the least favorite, and then Wakizashi is a middle ground. But Zanmato, he'll be give him, and he'll nod his head, and you're just like, oh shit, he's going for it. He even worked on bosses too. It would knock them to their second form if they had 3 forms.
Yeah.
It would knock them straight to the next one.
I love using my most powerful summons on the weakest enemies.
It's overkill. You play D&D?
I do not, but I want to.
You want to play D&D?
Sometime, yeah.
It's actually pretty fun. Like, I've been playing it here recently. I actually have a level 14 character.
Okay.
And the way I built him is that he has a very high armor class, which is like decides whether you get hit or not.
Mm-hmm.
But like somebody rolls to attack you, and you have a 22 armor class, and they roll like say a 16 plus whatever buffs they get or whatever additives they get.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't reach their armor class, then you don't get hit that turn.
Okay.
So like he has a high armor class. He can attack 3 times every action because you have an action, a bonus action, and then you have your movement for your turn. He can attack 3 times per action.
Okay.
He has another ability called Action Surge, which gives him a whole nother set for action. So I could have 6 attacks on one turn, and then I get like plus 11 to my roll to hit, like to see if I hit something, and then I have like a plus 9 to damage. So whatever I roll, plus 9 each time for each attack.
It seems like a really interesting game, though.
I kill a lot of things.
Good. What kind of things?
Like gods, monsters.
Oh my!
We had a little homebrew like D&D session with Alex's girlfriend's brother.
Okay.
DMs, or he used to DM like professionally, so he's been building a story for us, and the story had us going on this quest for a guy named Tyrant, and we're discovering like pieces to like a missing god, and we eventually get across to this like piece of it, right, and it's evil, so we had to fight it, and I ended up almost triple overkilling the boss because I had low HP and I did a massive attack.
Triple overkill?
There's been moments where I went up and attacked something with my character and instantly brought it down to 0 HP and killed it.
I want you on my team.
Yeah, he's a pretty good character. Some of the other characters we have in our party are pretty good too. We have Zach's character, which is like a ranger, and he has a dog that can attack on his turn as well. That can teleport as well.
Oh, so he's like Lockjaw then.
Yeah.
Marvel.
He can pretty much like attack 2 times on his turn if he doesn't attack on his turn. So him and his dog get an action each turn. But if he gives up his action, his dog can attack twice. You know, so it's this thing called Hunter's Mark where you can put it on whatever enemy at the time, and then you can pretty much...
It wasn't the store.
Okay. You can put it on there and it does an extra, like, dive damage. And it's Then we have Alex's character that has this ability called Wild Magic, and where he rolls on the table, and if he rolls between like a 1 or like a 3 on like a d20 die, he can roll again. Like if he gets that, he can roll to see what ailment will befall whoever, because it's like random, like situational magic. So like say he rolls like a 36, and then on the template for 36 it says you shrink yourself down like half your size. Which is like makes everything difficult to read. Or like you grease yourself up and you have to like make a check to make sure you don't fall over.
Oh, it just seems like so much fun.
It is very fun.
It seems like a lot of imagination is needed.
Oh yeah, a lot of role playing can go into, because the more you role play your character, you can build parts of the story, and it's pretty personal whenever you start making a character, and you can build it however you want, and it's pretty much it could be a reflection of you or whoever.
Yeah, it'd be right up my alley.
It's your own ass-kicking entity.
Yes.
Yeah.
I tried to make a board game like that once. It didn't work out.
You tried to make a board game like that?
Yeah, like D&D. But I didn't know what I was doing, so I didn't get very far. I used to make board games a lot, though. Like on construction paper.
It's pretty interesting. I tried making they made us do that in like schools and stuff. They would give us templates to make board games and play them with our friends. And I was just like, why do I have to do this when I can just like grab, Trouble or something from the house and just play? Can't I just bring that to school? Like,
yeah, and play Monopoly for 7 hours.
Fucking I hate Monopoly.
It takes so long to play. It's like, this is fun. Then 3 hours later, I want to die.
No, it's because they feed you hopes and dreams of becoming very rich and beating the other players. And then you slowly realize that it takes a lot to be rich.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. You have to go bankrupt. You have to get like pay rent for people that you don't like.
That game's hard.
You know what my go-to every time I went to play Monopoly with some friends? A drink.
Drink?
Yeah, that's my philosophy on Monopoly, is that I will not play Monopoly without a drink, and when I play Monopoly, it means I drink until I get disinterested in Monopoly. It usually doesn't end well after that.
Oh.
I drink too much.
Oh, Monopoly. Play a real game like Uno.
Yeah. Skip both. It's easy. You just had to skip both. He's in the back.
What's your favorite board game / card game?
My favorite card game? I have two different card games. I have my favorite trading card game, and then I have a favorite, like, deck of cards game, like playing with deck of cards. My favorite card game would have to be, well, it's still my favorite card game, but at the same time, I've lost interest in it so much. But it's Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, I used to play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was pretty interested in that. And I still like Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just all the new shit that they come out with. It's just, it doesn't interest me.
It'd be fun to collect the cards still, though.
Oh yeah, the cards are fun. Like if you play with like friends, or build your own stuff, and you don't have to worry about tournament rules or anything, or you can play however you want with different generations of cards. You can set up, hey, look, let's play like this generation, that generation. Then you can go to the new ones, and the new ones it just gets even more like complicated. The field sets up weird, and yeah. And my favorite actual card game would be Spades. Yeah, because
I'm not sure that I've ever played Spades.
Spades is a game where you can hustle your friends and have a good time, and then I learned how to play from my mom and dad, and they hustled people so hard that they almost got kicked out of their own apartment.
Oh no!
Because they had beat these people like 3 times in a row with like at the end of each like a round they were like doing like 10 hands, which is like $10 total, and they got up and were just like, y'all need to leave. I'll get out, and I just started to get up there like, wait a minute, motherfucker, this is our apartment.
That's funny.
You kicking me out to my own home over a card game, you fool.
Card games get heated.
Yeah, they do.
Serious.
I had like drama start over a card game one time that wasn't even like warranted, because like I'm a shit talker whenever I play Spades, and I just happened to be drinking that night, and like one of my family members got upset with me. It's not even really my family members, but like people who like pretty much adopted me as their family because I stay at their house. And, I'm friends with their son, and they had some other family members living downstairs, and it wasn't fun that night, but it wasn't anything serious.
Just some loud words,
some disgruntled words, and some me being like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't know I was doing that. I didn't mean to be an asshole." We don't go into that.
We don't talk about that anymore.
Those are the olden days. Back when dragons ruled the world. Dragon. Dragon these nuts across the land. Dragon nuts.
I bought a top hat.
You bought a top hat?
Yeah.
That's like, I noticed it sitting around. I was like, that's a nice top hat.
I bought it so I could sneak candy into the movie theater.
You bought that. You bought the most conspicuous thing. That was the word I was looking for.
Yes.
You're gonna sneak M&Ms into somebody's like, yeah, nice hat, man. So you're like, thanks, and then like,
oh no,
lift your hat and all your M&Ms fall to the ground.
I gotta make sure not to tip my hat.
Just bags of M&Ms like right in front of the right in front of the people who are giving you your ticket. They're just like, oh, sir, you can't bring that in.
Dang it. Foiled again.
I'll make sure to put pockets in it next time.
Yes.
Just improve upon the top hat and make it like an ultimate top hat. Put your materia on it and turn it into
level it up.
Yeah. I went and sat down and watched a video on all the different materia builds you could get for Final Fantasy VII. There are some that allow you to allow a cloud or somebody to attack like 15 times in a row.
Yeah, there's so much you can do.
Yeah, like, you can mix different materials, and that was a really good system.
It was.
It wasn't as easy as 1-2. I've got this ability now. It was like, okay, what can I put? with this to do this? And what can I, how many materia slots can I fill up with certain things?
Mm-hmm.
And you could repeat the same materia to boost effects, which was wonderful because if you had multiple sets of materia, you could be like, let's use this, and then I can use this again and kind of improve on that. And your characters leveled up based on what materia you used, and their different stats would change. And I still have to get used to that because I'm playing through Final Fantasy VII.
Are you playing through it again?
Yeah, playing through it on the phone.
I wish they'd make another Final Fantasy in that style, like the PS1 era, kind of like those.
I feel like if they did really good remasters, like actual like decent like HD remasters of those games, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Where they like flesh out the character models more, where it's not so much like newer, it's just they're more fleshed out. Like take like 9 and enhance the graphics, and then give that to 7.
Yeah, the character models look terrible in those games.
The character models look like they assault each other by accident, like giving each other hugs. And stuff. Tifa like hugs you and impales your chest. Yeah, it's Cloud. He's dead.
Oh no!
I stabbed him with my boobs, my pointy bits. Oni cartoons and Oni plays and stuff like that. Chris O'Neill and the guys, they're one of my favorite YouTube channels.
Right.
They're not like the normal. They're not like the normal gamer channel. They're very weird and eccentric.
Okay.
And Chris is Irish, and I'm like part Irish as well, so I'm just like, yeah, go Chris. Ireland.
Is your name Irish?
Chris O'Neill. No, my name is Ugandan.
Ugandan.
Which means funny gamer guy. Just like shit like that. And they have his career. I love their cartoons and their gaming videos are awesome.
Yeah, I have to check them out.
They're pretty fun.
People are always telling me about YouTube channels that I've just never heard of, ever.
Like, if we had the time, I'd sit down and show you some Oni Plays videos that are very funny. They did a playthrough of Final Fantasy VII that I loved.
Okay.
They didn't play through all of it, but they played through a good like bit of the first part of the story, and just like the funny shit that they come up with is hilarious. I need to show you that before I leave, but okay, you can mind.
We will.
Alright. Yeah, that's Final Fantasy VII for you.
Tell me a secret.
Secret?
A secret.
I don't know if I can tell you a secret, but you know what? I'll tell you a secret.
There's only like negative 13 people who listen to this podcast, so you're good.
I killed a man with my pinky toe once. Oh, don't tell anybody. I'm still out on the loose for it. People don't know it's me, but I don't want to keep it that way. Y'all don't tell anybody. I'll send George W. Bush after you.
I love how you pointed at the microphone just now.
Yeah. The fucking microphone. You're the reason why I'm doing this. There's no camera, so you just gotta point at the microphone and hope that the people at home know that you're pointing at them.
Maybe I'll just have an image of your hand pointing so they know.
Yeah, just like pointing at the microphone. That'd be great.
I don't know if I'm gonna do video for this podcast. I might just keep it audio.
If you decide to do like vlogs and stuff, that'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of like go out and be like, yeah, I have plenty of places where we could like set up and do like videos.
Right.
If you have the right audio equipment, we could rock that. Because we have a room at my place that kind of circles around, and you can kind of get like a little like chair circle. And
need to get some more of these fancy mics.
Oh yeah,
the blue Yeti.
The blue Yeti.
Why is it called blue?
It's not even blue. It's
not
silver.
Blue.
It's a gray.
Why is it called Yeti for that matter?
It's a gray microphone brand.
Generic microphone.
Like the brand on the box just says microphone. It works.
Wonder if anyone has that trademarked. Could you just trademark microphone?
No, I think the word microphone. I don't know. Sorry, I got a message, but
no, it's fine.
I don't know if you can trademark the word microphone because it's just like one of those words that if you trademarked it, then they'd be kind of pointless because everybody uses it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to enforce that copyright at all.
Yeah. If you tried to like enforce a copyright on the word like shake,
yeah,
or something, like you can't use the word shake anymore.
It'd be like the Fine brothers trying to trademark react, the word react. Didn't they do that?
I
It was
don't.
a big controversy.
I don't remember hearing about it, but that sounds plausible. The Fine Brothers?
Yeah.
Like YouTube Fine Brothers?
Yeah.
Why would they want to patent and React?
I don't know. It could have been a different channel. I'm really behind on YouTube channels.
I think it's they were trying to do their patent for React because of the reaction videos.
Yeah.
And there's like
Is that what they do?
I think so. Because I know there's this channel that does the reaction videos, like kids react or adults react to like music and videos and.
Yeah, one of those channels is just my guilty pleasure. There's this channel called Hi Ho Kids. All it is kids reacting to things. Or kids meeting people. Like, kid meets a mountaineer. Or kids meet a funeral director.
Kids meet Jason Voorhees
Yeah.
in person. We had to cut that one out because of the violence. So, what was I gonna say? So yeah, the reaction videos are funny because they'll like they'll put kids in listening to like metal music and stuff. Oh yeah, I know what I was gonna say. Is that kids react to like say like these kids are gonna meet Satan today.
Satan.
Yeah. The Dark Lord will consume them and use their souls for his fiery pit.
That sounds funny.
Yeah, I'd watch that. I watch it and just be like, oh, it's Satan. Bow down.
What movie is your guilty pleasure?
What movie is my guilty pleasure?
A movie that you just secretly love that's not very good.
Secretly love that's not very good. I secretly love Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
Okay.
Because, in a sense, it was a horrible movie. But at the same time, I love it because I got to see it for free in real 3D in theaters, and it's Ghost Rider, and I love Ghost Rider as a character. And they had a scene in the movie where they're like, "How does he's dealing with this kid for some reason? This fucking kid's like gonna be the next vessel for Mephistopheles or something like that."
Mephistopheles.
And they have this scene where they're riding on like a big flatbed truck, and the kid and like Nick Cage Ghost Rider is just sitting there in the back, and he's like, how does Ghost Rider, use the bathroom? And he's like, looks at him with a grin, and it cuts to like this scene where it shows Ghost Rider from the back, like spraying like fire out of his crotch. He looks back like, he freaking laughs. Like, why did they put that in the movie?
It's a good idea though.
How do you think Marvel could be funny if we had a scene of Ghost Rider pissing fire? And it's not just a little bitty thing of fire. It's like a big flamethrower. Like
somebody wrote that. That was in the script.
Why would you put that in the script?
I don't know. I don't think there was any demand for that.
I don't want to know how the Spirit of Vengeance man feels. You can't use the toilet because he'll set it on fire. It's pointless.
Did you see Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No, I didn't.
I think he was in the beginning of season 4.
I know that he was in it. I know that they were basing him off of the newer Ghost Rider.
Okay.
I think it was the guy who drives a muscle car.
Oh no, he was barely in the series. He was in like a few episodes. They didn't really utilize him much.
There's started the comic book series with like a Mexican American guy.
Yeah.
Gets the Spirit of Vengeance, and instead of having a motorcycle, he has a car, like a Dodge muscle car. I mean, it's cool, but like Ghost Rider was known for the bike, and I mean, I can get past the muscle car thing because I like muscle cars.
Right.
But they changed his design up so much to where he doesn't even look like a skeleton anymore. He looks more like a dude in like a jumpsuit that's black with like this skull face, and it's weird.
It is weird.
I have to show you a picture of it. It'd be really nice. It's not really my motif. I like the old like classic biker jacket with the spikes and this flaming skull.
Big motorcycle.
What's funny is that they used the original. I don't mind that. It's my phone.
Surprise guest.
Yeah, it's Markiplier on my YouTube.
Yeah, he came on my podcast today.
Yeah.
Oh, he had to go though.
Markiplier sent me a notification for his video, and then he left. Yeah.
Yeah, he personally sent that to you. write a message for you and say, hey, I got a new video.
Yeah. And then he puts the tag for the YouTube in the video. He sends me personal texts with like little hearts and kissy faces
every day.
It's like, yeah, I sent you a new video, babe. Hope you like it. He cut to a minute and 14 seconds to hear me scream. Just cut right to that part of the video.
Have you ever talked to someone famous?
Talk to someone famous. I don't think I've ever talked to anybody like personally that's famous, but I've talked to people that are doing things that famous people would do. Like, I know people that are in like bands, like local bands and stuff.
Okay.
The Papa John's I work at, the drummer for this band called CBDB, and they're like a local Dave Matthews band with a twist, kind of.
Right.
And the drummer works there as a driver, and he's pretty cool. And I got their new album on CD for free.
Do they have like artwork and everything?
Yeah,
cool.
Like they're legit. They've been around. Like, he wasn't the original drummer. He actually he started a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's been playing with them, and I got for some free stuff from him, and he's pretty cool. He said he'd be down to jam with me if I ever got like a band together.
Oh, I really want to start a band.
Yeah, I really want to do that too, but that's a lot of work.
True.
A lot of sacrifice. I mean, I would do it if I had the assets for it, or if I felt like I knew I could push for it.
But then again, I do have that one band I planned with that's intentionally terrible.
Yeah.
Remember I posted that on Facebook.
Yeah.
Recruiting people to the worst band ever.
Recruit. I want you to bang on this metal pot and scream like you're being murdered. I want that as a background noise. We're too over budget for that. Screw that guy. I'll do it. You can't pay him the 50 cents an hour.
Someday.
You
remember the name for the band? It was terrible. The Devil's Butthole.
Oh yeah, the Devil's Butthole.
And then we'd have one song called The El Diablo. Because it's just so stupid.
I can't remember. There's this band that's called, I can't remember what it's called, but I discovered him, I discovered him through Alex, who discovered him through this thing we have in the mall down here. The 3D virtual, like, roller coaster ride thing that they put in.
I was unaware of this.
Yeah, they put in, like, the virtual reality 3D coaster. And I went and did one that was, like, this metal, like, you travel through hell and you get all these hellscape vibes.
Cool.
And they were playing Bleed by Meshuggah, metal band, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. And then there's this band that Alex was listening to on his ride, and it was, I'm trying to think of the name of the band, but I can't. But we went and looked up some of their songs, and some of their songs are just fucking weird.
Weird is good.
No, like, they have this one song that's like the name can be called racist.
Oh.
I don't know if I should disclose this information, but
you can.
Well, yeah, the podcast censor this, but I don't know if I want to use the word.
You don't have to.
I know, but I don't want to imply it either, because it just makes me seem like an asshole by getting away with it. But yeah, let's just say, I'm not racist, but one of the names of the songs was called, like, and this was like a hard R, right?
Yeah.
N-word of the balls.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Like, it was translated from, like, Spanish to English. Like, I don't know what's running through this band. There's this one song that they have, like, the intro is, like, the singer just doing, like, an imitation of, like, a beginning, like, guitar riff, like,
wait, so he's making that sound?
Yeah, he's making it with his mind, like, he's going, like,
it's kind of funny.
And then I kick it off into it, and it's weird.
I do like weird bands.
Oh, me too.
Like, Mr. Bungle.
Mr. Bungle. Okay.
Nuclear Rabbit, that's another good one. Primus, yes.
I love Primus. That's another weird band. Queens of the Stone Age is pretty cool.
I don't think I've heard them.
They're like an alternative rock band. It's I can't really explain their sound, but they're
Right.
critically acclaimed, dude.
Cool.
Not something you can just brush off. Like, Queens of the Stone Age. You hear Queens of the Stone Age, and you're just like, oh yeah, I know who they are. Oh
Yes.
fucking Queens of the Stone Age, man. It's been
I like
years.
it when bands have their own unique sound.
Yes, unique sounds. Like their original sounds unique, or is it just like
Like you hear a
it-
song and you know it's them.
anything that by Metallica that was pretty much anything by Metallica before they started Death Magnetic,
Okay.
which was like their 2009 album, and then they started sounding like more like metal bands nowadays.
Like all the other metal bands.
Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't checked them out in a while.
Yeah, they just sound like some new metal band wrote the songs for them,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just like, yeah, play over this and play it kind of like this, and then you have like 50-year-olds playing the instruments, and
Yeah, a lot of these like rock bands and metal bands are getting super old.
yeah, like
the members.
we're running out of good bands. We need more in demand.
What's that super old band? The Scorpions from
Yes.
1967. They're still together.
They started in 1967.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
They must have been like very underground. They started in Germany.
Germany?
Yeah, they're German.
Oh.
My dad told me a story about how he heard this one guy at a gas station said that he ran into the Scorpions while they were touring through the U.S.
Oh,
and they
that's
came to
cool.
the gas station and they barely knew English at the time. And the thing is that they had songs released like "Rock You Like a Hurricane" that was already in English, but they had already done it like phonetically.
Mm.
So they just,
didn't really understand what they were saying.
yeah, but they didn't know how to actually say it. They were just like repeating sounds.
Yeah.
And it's like whenever Americans listen to Rammstein,
Oh yeah.
and we don't know the words, but we're like going along with like du hast mich.
German is just perfect for death metal.
Yeah, how much Rammstein have you listened to?
Some, not a whole lot.
They have like they sound like some of their songs would be in like Call of Duty Black Ops 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And there's this one in particular called like Firefly or something like that.
Something.
Yeah, and it's like it's got like the it's like we got this got like the whole like speed and
Mm-hmm.
they throw the bang bang. Is
Are you gonna start a cover band of them and just make all the sound effects?
Steinram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steinram.
And just do like gibberish instead of German.
Just fake German. I made up a language that's fake German. It's called Germish.
Germish.
Yeah, because I had these characters in a story that were originally going to be German, but then I don't know German, so I just made up my own language that sounds like German. It was kind of fun.
That's actually pretty interesting. That reminds me of like learning the Albed language in Final Fantasy X.
Oh yeah.
I learned very quickly through the internet that it's a letter for letter translation through the game. So I was like, why look up, why go find all the Albed primers when I could just translate it on my phone?
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot of the secrets in the beginning of the game I didn't know existed because I'd read the message and be like, what the fuck is this?
You gotta find all those dictionaries or whatever.
Yeah, the fucking Albed primers, and
Yeah.
they're hidden everywhere, and you can't find them all
I
like
know.
within the span of the game unless you look everywhere first.
Mm-hmm.
I fucked myself out of winning or getting the celestial weapon. In that
Oh,
game.
there's that one place that you can't go back to once you leave.
Yeah.
So you're just out of luck.
Actually, you can go back to it. You can go back to anywhere in the game.
I know there's one Cloister of Trials or whatever that you can't go back to unless they changed it in like the PAL version or some other version of the game.
Like, which one was it?
I can't remember. It's been like 10 years since I played the game.
Wasn't it Macalania?
Something like that.
Because it's the one where you fight Seymour at. Because you're running. Isn't it the one where you're running away from the Ice Temple? So you end up killing Seymour and they're chasing you down.
That sounds right.
Yeah, because you first you fight the big mobile like cannon thing, the lasers and the little like magic blocker. I hated that thing. I got stuck on that too because I couldn't fucking beat him. And I got stuck on Seymour for a little bit because I couldn't beat him either. And then I learned that you use stone breath and just like blast away like the two other guys healing me. And he fucked me up with anima.
Oh, goodness.
Pain.
Speaking of anima, he's right. I don't know if you could see him. He's next to the Crown Royal bottle.
Oh, right there? Yeah, I see him.
Yeah.
What is anima? My worst nightmare.
Someone gave me that to borrow, but then they never got it back, so I guess I own it now.
Owning things through borrowing.
Yeah. A lot of these things are just things I'm borrowing. But no one's gonna come back and take.
No one's gonna come back, especially if
Can I come back and get my I don't know, this tiny salt shaker?
So nobody's gonna watch my YouTube channel and figure out I've been stealing your stuff systematically.
I'm a hoarder.
I'm a hoard. I'm a collection of beings here to take your stuff.
Yes. The Horde.
I'm one but many. I am the Legion. The thief. It's been a good podcast so far.
So far, yes. I want to think of a really weird topic.
How long do these things usually run on for?
I don't know. I've only done 2 before this. I think one was over an hour, and then one I did with Gavin was almost 2 hours. So we can just go as long as we want. There's no time constraints.
Sweet. So it's just like the whole like raw cut. You just
yeah.
Oh, that's great. Cool. I don't have to worry about correcting myself. This is a wonderful podcast.
Yeah. Just very, very loose, very lax.
So we could start like if you wanted to, we could link the channels together and kind of like you start doing podcasts for the games and stuff, and learn like what our new material is going to be, and then come mobile scripts and just not really scripts, just stuff to like kind of like remember to name off in the video, like hey, we're doing this and we can talk about it, and then we can talk about this.
I thought about making a list of possible topics, things to bring up.
Bring up 9/11.
9/11. Yes.
This is my first topic. How do you feel about 9/11? I hated it. It was horrible.
It was bad.
It was a bad thing. How do you feel about the Japanese bombings in 1942?
I wasn't there.
There was no bombings in 1942. We were lucky. I have a horrible sense of humor.
Me too.
That's what I do. Is I make pizzas, I play games, and I say horrible things.
Oh, I have the darkest sense of humor.
That's why you and I get along so much.
Yes.
Dark power.
You can't see it, but we did a fist bump just now.
Yeah,
there we go.
Fist bump, you guys.
Oh no, you broke the mic.
Oh no, it's
we
broken.
gotta start over.
Oh, I've messed up. I'm going to drive away now. Get my keys.
Oh no.
Vroom vroom, I'm away.
Well, now he's gone.
I'm still here in spirit. Ever want to just get a sword and just like cleave into something that isn't living?
I wish I had a sword.
I wish I had the arm strength.
I mean, I have a wooden sword that someone wrapped in yellow duct tape for some reason.
It's the master sword. It's the inferior master sword.
Yes. I need more swords. I don't have enough of them. One is not enough.
I dream of owning a blade that's the size of like clouds.
Yeah, that would be heavy.
It is. I've seen people make them on YouTube and like actually forge them out into actual blades, and it takes the strongest person there to put it on their shoulder and have to heft it up.
Like, how strong is Cloud?
What is he? He's as strong as the plot allows him to be.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's like a skinny man with big blocky arms.
It makes no sense.
Yeah. His legs are bigger than his sword.
And also he has electricity powers.
We're just gonna question the whole magic exists in
yeah, he's just a wizard. Deal with it.
He's a battle wizard with a big blade.
Yes.
He has to fight the angel wizard
with
a bigger blade. You have big and long. Which one works better?
I know Sephiroth's sword was so long. Like, he probably has a...
It's so long.
So long.
I think that's why Cloud and Sephiroth, like, it was like on the surface, it was like a hate relationship where it's just like, you know, fuck you, Sephiroth. But then he has like this underlying like, dude, his sword's so fucking long. It just, I just want to fight him. I just want to hit my sword against his.
I'm so jealous.
I don't have the length, but I've got girth. They both work. Mine has detachable parts. Oh my. Oh man, that reminds me. Sephiroth was hardest to fight.
Yeah. That was random. I'm gonna lock the door so no one disturbs something.
Make the sound a little bit. It's okay. We're friends here. We can read books to each other in the dark.
How do you read in the dark?
We can look at the funny pictures if we can see them. Don't read books, I just look at pictures.
Yes. Do you read a lot of books?
I used to read a lot of books. I listen to a lot of books nowadays.
You like audiobooks?
Yeah, audiobooks or creepypastas.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same thing.
Right.
It's like short stories.
Right.
I like those too. Especially like going to bed.
Yeah, that's the best.
Since we're an uncensored audience here, I do partake in a little bit of the, or I'd say a little bit now, but that's like an understatement. But I take part in the green stuff.
The green stuff.
Yeah, the green stuff. Apples.
Green apples. Yes.
I take part in the green apples, and then I'll go to bed feeling really nice, and I'll listen to like creepypastas.
That sounds nice.
It does. Like even I like to listen to the short ones because.
What is short?
Short would be like, I'd say like 5
to 10 minutes.
Say about like between 2 and 7 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a shorter one, and the longer ones are from like, I'd say a good size one or a good size creepypasta would be about like 10 minutes to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And a really long one would be like 30 to an hour.
An hour is kind of long.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on like if you're listening to like a whole series at once. Because I used to do that too, and I kind of got mad at myself. It's for the same reason why I like to listen to the short stories. It's because I'll be, you know, in bed like listening to the stories, and then I will conk out and not remember where I'm at.
No.
And it's either I go through like a whole story and only listen to like half of it because I fell asleep the rest of the half. Or I go through like a whole half a list of videos before my phone decides not to play YouTube anymore. And I'll be like, which one did I stop on?
Well, it takes me forever to fall asleep, so I'm able to listen to a pretty good bit of an audiobook.
Yeah, I listen. I had somebody tell me about listening to audiobooks, and this is like audiobooks for adults. And they're basically just stories, but the people read them so soft and like so.
Like ASMR?
I think so. Like they'll read them in like a very soft tone manner and be like, yeah, this is the book you're reading today. Now, and then they'll put you through like an exercise where you have to like breathe and follow the steps, and they'll be like, yeah, let's get to the story. Karen was going to find a waterfall or something like that. And there's she's telling me about how like there's this lady trying to find a waterfall, and she's like, does she ever find the waterfall? Because you don't know, because you always fall asleep before the story ends. So I made a joke, and I was like, what if there is no waterfall and they just stop halfway through the story?
Yeah, there's just nothing there.
No, like even then they just stop halfway through the story, like, you know. And then she turned around and, you know, nobody's listening to shit anyway. You're all asleep, aren't you? If you're not asleep, then congrats, you're not gonna miss out on much. There is no waterfall.
It's like when you hear dramatic reading on the radio. No one listens to that.
This just in. Okay, back to you, Karen.
Oh, I love radio dramas, though. You don't hear them much anymore, but the actors are always really terrible. It's like they just don't care at all. Like no one's listening.
Star Trek radio dramas. They used to have those too.
They did?
I think way back they used to have radio dramas of Star Trek and Star. Yeah, they have some Star Wars, I know, because I went and looked into all that shit because I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Right.
So,
speaking of Star Wars,
oh, cool.
I was in a Star Wars fan movie.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I got the DVD. I designed the cover.
Which character are you?
I just provided a voice for one part.
Oh, cool. Fantastic, charming Star Wars adventure
Yeah,
from a
then
true
he
fan.
put a quote from me on the back. And I'm also like the executive producer in the credits.
Oh, that's cool.
The disc isn't anything fancy.
The Star Wars Blade of Destiny. That's pretty fun.
I'll have to send you a link to it. It's on YouTube.
I will definitely watch it because I'm a Star Wars fan, and I like looking at all like the fan made stuff.
Yeah.
Or
It's a lot of fun. I was also the cameraman too.
Dude, there's you remember that video that surfaced on the internet? It was of the two guys doing the lightsaber duel, and the one guy is just like comes out with the green lightsaber, and he's just like, "All women are queens," and then it cuts to the other guy, pulls out the red like Kylo Ren lightsaber. He's like, "If she breathes, she is a thought." And they just start going at it. Shit like that gets me because if they did that in actual Star Wars, like in the prequels, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Make them R-rated. Make Star Wars an R-rated movie.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah, like...
I mean, they kind of do that with Marvel to an extent.
Yeah.
Where you have Deadpool. And you have like shows like...
Punisher and Daredevil and stuff like that on Netflix.
That are more mature than the main movies.
But they couldn't do that with Star Wars?
No, I'm saying they could, maybe.
They should?
Yeah.
Like, the fan base would link together and be like, yeah, an R-rated Star Wars movie with a good story, let's go for it, you know.
I like that they did that with Samurai Jack.
Oh yeah, when they redid Samurai Jack, they made it for Adult Swim so they could put a little bit more in.
Right.
A little more loose with the ratings. Well, that'd be fun. That'd be really funny if they did the Star Wars R-rated, because then people like in the deep fandom who are just like sexually attracted to Star Wars are gonna be like alien sex for the first time on the big screen.
Yay!
Not the first time, but in good graphics.
Yes.
Done by good company. And all the Star Trek fans would be like, ew, no Star Wars.
Ew. Have you seen Star Trek? Any of the old series?
Yes.
All of it?
I can see why people appreciate it, and then I can see why people don't.
Yeah, same.
I mean, I get the concepts. They're really good. The characters are really fleshed out.
Mm-hmm.
They put a lot of lore into the Star Trek universe. Just the old Star Trek series with like William Shatner and all that was way too goofy for what it should have been.
Yeah.
Like they should have went the whole like Battlestar Galactica route,
right?
Or the stuff like Stargate. Stargate was one of my favorite sci-fi shows.
I never watched that one.
Stargate was what I thought, Star Trek could have been, but at the same time, like, you could take I'd say, like, not the plot elements, but, like, the character progression elements, instead of having, like, very goofy, like, character builds, and they should start going for something a little more serious. That's what I feel like they were trying to do with, like, the Star Trek reboot movies, and they were good, but, like, you put that in a show.
Right.
Get, like, really good TV actors and just,
aren't they working on a new series, like a show?
I'm not sure. I haven't really caught up on anything Star Trek. I wasn't really that big of a fan.
I really like The Next Generation. That one's my favorite.
See, The Next Generation is where they picked up a little bit more that, what Star Trek fans were just like, yeah, Star Trek.
Yeah.
Picard and Will Wheaton and Wheatman.
Will Wheaties.
Product placement. And you didn't even have to try.
I wonder if Wheaties has sugar in it.
I wonder. What can I eat that doesn't have sugar in it? Dirt.
I think about these things now.
Even dirt has sugar in it at some point.
Yes, high fructose corn syrup. They add it to the soil.
Whenever you decide not to go on that sugar diet or anymore, you're gonna love drinking you with some soda and be like, so this is what it does to you again.
Yay!
Just drink coffee.
I drank some black coffee with no sugar. A little bitter.
A little bitter.
A lot bitter.
My mouth died. I have energy, but my soul is drained. The darkness overcame me. I drank the darkness and it was bitter.
I kind of like black coffee. I mean, I would prefer it with tons of sugar and milk.
Yeah.
Maybe some cinnamon.
It's more of an acquired taste if you drink it black.
Yeah. Well, then again, I'm the guy who likes just plain seltzer, like soda water.
See, like, my tasting abilities don't go anywhere past alcohol.
Okay.
Like, marijuana consumption. Because of the alcohol, you can... Well, with me, like, the taste doesn't ever bother me.
Mm-hmm.
So people say, like, yeah, Jaeger is nasty by itself. And I'll sit there and I can take a shot of Jaeger and look at somebody like, it's just Jaeger. It's just... It's just this.
What does it taste like?
Rubbing alcohol and licorice.
Okay.
No, Jaeger has like a cough. It tastes like licorice and cough medicine.
Okay.
Like, then you have vodka that tastes like straight up rubbing alcohol. Especially if you get it like 100 proof, where it's just like.
What does
50%.
proof mean? I know nothing about alcohol.
50% alcohol would be 100 proof. So it goes from like, okay, 50, let's do 100, and like scale it on that. So like.
So half of it would just be pure alcohol? Okay.
It's potato alcohol. Then you have like proofs, like say it's like 80 proof, then it'd be 40% alcohol.
Okay.
And then you have like, 20 proof would be 10% alcohol, and then they actually stop the proofs at around like 10%. And start saying like this much alcohol is like 16% or 18%.
What about Everclear?
Everclear. I almost blacked out from hearing the name Everclear.
Oh my.
I've never drank Everclear myself.
Me either. I don't drink.
You don't drink?
No.
Yeah, you're straight edge. The proud straight edge. I'm proud of you. Don't rely on other sources of items to deal with the harsh realities that is life.
I do have this pill bottle that I wrote drugs on. It's just a blank bottle that I scribbled drugs on.
So you just keep it in your room for your drugs?
Yeah. Where I keep my drugs.
0. My drug is life. It pulls out a little piece of paper that says my life was awesome. It's just like, oh, I feel better now. Can go on with my day.
God, there was a few things I wanted to talk about, but they all escape me now. So I was thinking before the podcast, well, I got all these things I want to talk about, and I just forget all of them. Do you watch Jeopardy?
Oh yeah, I used to watch Jeopardy all the time when I was a kid.
Did you watch it back when Alex Trebek had a mustache?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I watched it that far back. I watched it when Alex Trebek was all like clean cut, shaved, white hair, glasses, and he'd be like, Jerry, for 500, this is the question. A man walks into a bar and says, ouch. What does he say? What is, this joke is horrible? That's correct.
Yay.
You win the life prize of $5,000 and a kiss on the cheek.
By Alex Trebek.
Yeah. Very, like, sensual kiss on the cheek. Like, you hold your face and everything, and it's just like...
That's off camera, though. You don't get to see that part.
Yeah. He touches you when you're off camera. Starts rubbing your hair. Like, you did good, Jerry. You did real good. Now the real test comes now. Can you survive this kiss on the cheek?
My real guilty pleasure, though, is Family Feud.
Family Feud with Steve Harvey.
I love Family Feud.
Like, my favorite Family Feud stuff is with Steve Harvey.
Yeah. It's not even a game show anymore. It's a documentary about his descent into insanity.
It's to show you how stupid people actually are on both sides of the little game. Because you have the people who come up with the answers, which are surveyed.
Yes.
And they're surveyed through like a bunch of different people in different percent groups, and then you had the people that had to guess what these other people
just have the off the wall random answers that people give.
So
put
people
on the
like,
spot.
Like, what's something you can fit inside of an orange? Do my dick, and then it'll just look at you like, you can't say that on television.
Oh, Steve Harvey would go crazy.
Steve Harvey is fucking amazing. I wouldn't say like I praise the ground he walks on.
Yeah.
I would say that just he has a good humor to him for TV.
Yeah, I like him as the host of Family Feud. I don't watch his stand-up or anything.
His stand-up's pretty alright.
Yeah.
He has an okay show on CW run. It's like the Steve Harvey show where he's basically it's like Oprah and all the
daytime television.
Yeah.
Okay.
His stand up and his stuff on Family Feud's the best.
I love the really random answers that people give. Like, name something you might buy that could turn out to be phony. A horse. Someone said that.
Why a horse?
I don't. Why would that come to your mind? That's the first thing.
Why? Because your horse is phony. Like, could it be a donkey or something?
You're not a horse.
You're a whore.
You're a phony.
You're a whore. You don't know. This isn't what I bought on Amazon.
Oh.
I'm disappointed with online shopping now.
Have you ever been burned? Like, buying something online?
Burned buying something online?
Yeah. You buy something that turns out to be phony or whatever?
No.
Or not what you expect?
No, because I don't buy anything online because I don't trust it.
Right.
Anything that I've gotten that's online shopping was either something like a game or something that somebody else bought for me online. But I don't really buy things online, especially if it's like a product. Unless I know it's from like a good source or...
Yeah.
I don't like eBay. I don't like eBay.
Or about Amazon?
Amazon's a little more trustworthy, but at the same time, you know, like packages. I don't like waiting for packages because then I get antsy about it.
Yeah. I like using made-up names on the packages, though. Just ridiculous names.
For like Seymour Fuzzy Pants.
Yeah, you can put anything on there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you just gotta go for it. It's ridiculous name. Rubber Ducky, this is your package. Are you Rubber Ducky? Quack.
I used the name Fagnum P.I. once.
Fagnum P.I.?
Yeah.
Imagine answering the door for somebody, or imagine like your family member opens the door and it's just like, we have a package here for Fagnum P.I. Is that, yep, that's my son.
They usually don't ask. They usually just leave it by the door. But one time they asked, and I had the stupidest name on there. I put the Doo-Doo Man, just because I'm such a child. And they had to ask who that was. That was interesting.
Are you the Doo-Doo Man? Why, yes I am.
The Doo-Doo Man? Ooh, man. Doo-Doo Man.
Oh man, I've had to pee this whole time.
Oh.
It's okay though.
Should we wrap it up?
I don't think wrapping it up's gonna help. I think letting it out's the best. But yeah, I'm down with whatever, man. Like, if we feel like we've got enough footage.
Okay. Maybe we'll just pause.
Yeah, we'll be back on this commercial break. Welcome back.
What were we talking about?
I was gonna say that I think every human engineer in the world for building bathrooms inside houses.
Yes.
Because I would hate to have to go to like public restrooms all the time. Because like you lose all your privacy.
All the stalls.
Don't you just hate it whenever you go to like pee in like a public bathroom? So you just like, go up to the urinal and you're just doing your business, and all of a sudden you just feel gas come on and just you let out a big one, and there's like people in there.
Oh, that's the worst.
Or whenever you walk to a bathroom and you don't see anybody in there, but you think somebody's in there, and then you let out a huge fart. And then you hear the toilet flush and like the stall like to the back. And you're just like, that person just heard me like rip myself in the asshole.
Butt symphony.
Who is that? Huh? I'm trying to take a shit in here. Gosh, these eggplants.
Eggplant. Do you like eggplants?
I like eggplants. I like
3 out of 5.
Yeah, it's like 3 out of 5. I like them fried.
Yeah.
Fried eggplant's the best.
Yes.
Fried. If you fry most anything, it tastes good.
True. I don't think I've ever had a fried food that tasted bad.
Fried pickles are good.
Yes, piccolos.
Piccolos.
They don't have them at Sonic anymore. I'm sad.
They don't have. They had fried pickles at Sonic.
Yeah, it's one of the hidden menu items. You gotta know about them.
I apologize for this in advance. Okay.
They discontinued them. And I was there the day they discontinued them. I was gonna get some. It had been a long time since I had them. No, they don't have them anymore.
I wish they had. I'm glad that they don't have a secret menu at Papa John's.
They don't.
Because if they did have a secret menu, then I have no idea about it. So he was like, "Hey, can I get this?" It's like, we don't have that. And it's just like, it's a secret menu item. And I'm just like, why the fuck are you ordering the secret menu items when you could just order a pizza?
The peanut butter and gumball pizza.
I've looked all over the store and I still can't find the peanut butter.
Where do we keep the gumballs?
We had a gumball machine in our store one time.
Oh.
It's like 25 cents, and it was like racing money for children's awareness.
Children's awareness.
I never buy those things for the charities because I believe in if you're gonna do charity work,
just give it to the charity.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of charities that aren't really legit.
Yeah,
and they give all of their profit to themselves. But then I would always just buy them just because hey, look, it's a gumball, and then I realized that these gumballs are shitty. It was not worth the quarter that I got it for. I never learned my lesson.
I love the gumball machines that are just a dime. The little
like the ones that sell little candy pellets.
Yeah, the little gum pellets.
Yeah, the little square ones.
I love those. And the flavor lasts for like 2 seconds, but they're nice.
It's the best damn 2 seconds of my life.
Yes, sir. Speaking of charities, I'm a little iffy about a lot of them. Like, when you go to the grocery store or whatever, and they ask, would you like to donate $1 to this foundation?
No, I just want to get my groceries and go home and touch myself with my butter sticks. I want to donate to your fucking charity. I don't care about people.
People?
What do you think I'm buying toaster pizzas and Mountain Dews? I'm going to play games and not socialize. Makes you think I want to donate. Such horrible people.
Oh, no, they try to guilt you, though. Oh, you don't want to donate $1 to this foundation?
No.
Okay.
No. You can't be mean about it, because then you become a horrible person in the eyes of others. And then you gotta think to yourself, is my public image worth being who I am? Am I really that horrible of a person in everybody else's eyes?
No, I'm strongly opposed to St. Jude's Children's Hospital having $1. Having my $1.
It's the perfect thing for somebody to walk into. I'm perfectly opposed to Saint Jude. Saint Jude. See, look, you've ruined your reputation now. People are gonna think you're a horrible person for not.
They're gonna know.
Yeah. They're gonna think that you're a horrible person for not donating $1 to a charity that your dollar's probably going into the pocket of another man.
Oh, and I especially hate the guys who stand outside Walmart around Christmas and ringing the bell over and over.
That's for the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
So then you feel bad, because then I hate it whenever they stare at you.
Yeah. You just make eye contact. They're ringing the bell and looking pitiful.
I feel like they're trained to do that.
Yeah.
So look at you and they're like, if you stare at them, they'll feel obligated to give you money, and then you end up giving her last bit of change too. I'm like, hey, here you go. Here's a quarter, a dime, and 2 nickels, and a penny.
And one of those plastic pennies.
Throw plastic money in there with tinfoil over it.
I was rolling pennies one time. I put one of those fake pennies in there just because.
Yeah.
They'll take it out of your bank account.
They will?
Yeah. They won't just take a penny either. They'll take 10 cents.
For a penalty?
Yeah.
They'll take a whole fucking 10 cents out of your bank account.
Because you put a plastic penny in one of the rolls.
And check it. It's not a smart idea.
Yeah, they won't tolerate that.
And we don't tolerate that plastic money bullshit around here. I bet you they'll lose their interest in that when you throw a fake $100 bill in there that looks legit and a whole stack of 100.
I think I would go to jail at that point.
Yeah. I think that's a bigger offense than putting a plastic penny in a roll of pennies.
Yeah, I would say so.
Jail time about two hours for the penny.
I always like to draw mustaches on my money. I guess that's a crime, but I don't know. It makes me laugh.
I think I have something that Gavin gave to me.
Okay.
I can't remember where. Yeah, it's something Gavin gave to me, and it was it's a $2 bill, or actually no, it's a $1 bill, and it was something he drew on. Oh, then I have an actual $2 bill. Somebody gave me. The thing about this $2 bill is that the person that gave it to me as a tip when I was at work.
That's cool.
You know what he did? He sat it down on the table, or gave it to me. No, he gave it to me and put it in my hand, and then winked at me and left.
So it's like kind of magical.
Yeah, like okay, I've got to $2 now.
I always ask for $2 bills when I go to the bank. They never seem to have them.
It's because they're out of commission.
They stopped making them?
Yeah, they've stopped making them. Stopped making them a long time ago.
Oh, I have a bunch of them.
I only have like, you know, you can still use that money.
Yeah. I spend them every now and then.
I didn't know I could spend this $2 bill.
You shouldn't spend that one. It's special.
Oh yeah. Some
guy
guy winked at me and gave
memory of that guy winking at you.
If it wasn't for the wink, I could never give it away. It's my true love. He was an older man, but
did he kiss you on the head before you left?
I feel like he wanted to. Yeah, like I've got this other one. It's a $1 bill that Gavin drew all over. It's Asher.
Ash.
It's the United States of Asherica.
Asherica. Oh, you can never spend that.
He scrawled at the W in Washington, D.C., and it's now Ashington, D.C.
Ashington.
And it's E-R-E.
Oh, that belongs in a frame.
And they have it signed down here in the signed over series. And then signed over that too. And then he filled in the thing over here with the A. And drew on George Washington's face. And drew Asher over it with the goatee and everything.
Why doesn't Asher have this?
Because I think Asher gave it to me.
Oh.
Because he got it from a Gavin. And gave it to me. It's like, in Asher we trust.
I trust
Asherica.
Asher.
I blessed the rains down in Asherica.
I like that song. I don't know why it became a meme though.
Because people decided, hey, look, this could be funny, and they put it on the internet, and it wasn't funny, but people thought it was.
Let's just pretend that it's funny.
Let's bless the rains down in Africa for about 2 months, and then find something else that's funny to replace it. I bless the rains down in Asherica.
Asherica? I want to move there, in Asherica.
I want to go to Asherica. I feel like it could be real fun.
Then we can go to Afghanistan.
The war grounds. Afghanistan. All the lovely people of Asherica like got sent to because it was like a prison camp, and then they became like infidels.
How dreadful.
Yeah. They became the resistance. The resistance is futile. The resistance is here.
That was a pretty good impression.
If we do a Star Wars parody of something, or if we decide to do a Star Wars parody of anything, I'll do the voice again.
Definitely. That was good.
Predicament we're in. Easy this one not to be. So I can do like the goofy Yoda, and then I can also do like the really serious, because then you have like, you know, hello Luke Skywalker. Young you are. And you have the dark like prequel Yoda where he's just like, dark times it is in the Galactic Republic.
He used to be so whimsical.
Yeah, he used to be like funny. Goofy man fall down. He used to teach him the Force, and he would like pick on him too. You hit him in the head.
He was great.
Then you had Badass Yoda, which I liked Badass Yoda.
Yeah, I liked watching him fight.
Do hear your time has come. Flying around. Man, I miss watching good Star Wars movies.
Do you like any of the prequels?
I like the prequels for story element, but I wouldn't say any of them are my favorite Star Wars movie, except for 3.
3 was good.
Now 3 was really good. 2 was good. It felt like it was too slow.
Yeah.
At sometimes. But for what it was, it made up for it, and like really cool like action scenes you'd never see in a Star Wars movie, like a bunch of Jedi in like one area just pummeling down things.
Right.
3 has a special place in my heart because I got to see it in theaters whenever it came out. I didn't
get to see any of them in theaters. I didn't watch them until I was an adult.
I didn't finish the movie because I was like 6, and then there was the childbirth scene, and I was just like, oh, what's going on? Just because I didn't understand. And then I couldn't make it through the whole movie because I was already tired of it and I wanted to go. So like I remember leaving at the part where they had I think they were walking Padme to her like grave, the whole like ceremony where like they had the people dressed in black and stuff. And then we left after that, but I finished it like on DVD later, so it was a good experience.
Episode 3 used to be my favorite of the Star Wars movies until I rewatched all of them. I think Episode 5 would be my favorite.
New Hope? No,
the one after that.
Yeah, The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I get the numbers mixed up. I don't know, it'd have to be I think my favorite, original trilogy movie would have to be... It's a toss-up between that one and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Because, Return of the Jedi had the final confrontation and all that. The Emperor Palpatine in person. He's always funny to me. Do it. Thanks to Game Grumps. Do it. Screw it. You do like the perfect impression of it. It's just like, good, Anakin, good.
You'll have to be that character too.
Do it.
Gee, I wonder who the bad guy is.
I'm the bad guy. I will destroy all of you. Darth Vader. Vader. The way he sounds in the prequel, like 3
cartoon character.
Yeah, they gave him such a digitalized voice at that point because he had like the vibration in his voice. He was like really like, "You henceforth shall be known as Darth Vader," but it had like this like, so he's like, "You know, Darth Vader." Just drunk Palpatine. He tried to fight me, Vader. Through in power reactor.
Have you been watching like the newer movies? Newer Star Wars movies?
Oh yeah, I watched all of them that they have out so far, except for the Han Solo one.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
I watched Rogue One on Netflix in my living room. I watched all of it and it was good. And I watched The Force Awakens for the first time, and I watched it in my aunt's house in one of my little cousin's room, and she has like all the decked out in, like pink and stuff. And yeah, I sat in her room and watched Force Awakens over there because it was like, yeah, we have it on DVD. If you want to watch it, you can watch it in there, and we won't disturb you.
Cool.
I was like, yeah, let's do this. I sat down and watched the whole thing. Then I watched not the Force Awakens. No, yeah, The Last Jedi.
I haven't seen that one. I've seen like the first 20 minutes, but then I had to stop.
What happened?
Well, I was at a friend's house and I had to go home.
Oh.
It wasn't the movie. I liked what I saw.
In the first 20 minutes, it's like when you see Chewbacca, I had to go home and change my pants. Chewbacca turns me
on. Oh my.
No, but yeah, it was such a good movie. The Last Jedi was really good in theaters. I got to watch it in D-Box seats.
Oh, cool. I still haven't tried D-Box. So how is that?
Watching Star Wars movie? Be prepared.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to let you in on a secret, alright? I'm going to let you in on a secret if you've never been to a D-Box movie before. Especially if it's a Star Wars movie. Be prepared for the opening credits. Because you know what they do to the D-Box seats on the opening credits? When they like throw in the loud like Star Wars noise?
You just get slung through the ceiling when that happens?
You get slung forward. They'll slowly roll you back and then you're just like, ta-da! Fling you forward.
Oh, that part always scares me.
Yeah, but imagine that, but moving like shooting towards the screen when that happens, and not knowing it's about to happen. Mm-hmm. So that was my first D-Box movie.
Oh, first ever.
Yeah, so I got to experience the Star Wars throw. First time around, it was great. I watched that movie with my buddy and his family. Such a good movie. don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it.
I've only seen maybe 10% of it.
It's such a good movie. Stuff happens.
Stuff happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Space battles happen.
Space battles. My favorite kind of battles.
I think what's his name? Quentin Tarantino. No, not Quentin Tarantino. What's his name? Did you ever see Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas before?
Yes.
You know the guy who played Johnny Depp's lawyer?
I don't know the
guy.
actor.
Yeah, but Benicio del Toro. That's
Okay.
who it was.
Okay.
Benicio del Toro's in that Star Wars movie.
Okay.
Yeah, he plays a character in it.
Cool.
He's pretty important. But yeah, he's supposed to be like a gambler or something who can like figure out different types of code and stuff. He's like a hacker. Really cool. But
I liked The Force Awakens. I thought that was great.
Or Han Solo.
Han Solo. I haven't seen Solo.
Haven't seen Solo either since since his tragic fate in The Force Awakens. Yeah, such a wonderful childhood memory for me, Star Wars.
I hate that I didn't grow up with it. I probably like it a lot more than I do.
Oh, I grew up with it.
Yeah.
It was so bad. We would have my aunt. That's where we lived at. We lived on a hill, and there are 3 trailers on the hill. There was the top trailer, which was my grandpa and grandma's trailer, and this is all in Arkansas. They were like in the backwoods,
Right.
near like Crowley's Ridge and all that. And between, there's 3 trailers. The top one was my grandfather and grandmother's. The middle one was my grandmother's mom. My great grandmother, as I would say. Don't really talk to her. She's a bitch.
Oh,
She's racist.
oh my.
She's very racist.
Well, a lot of old people are. That's how they grew up.
People wonder why we hate old people so much is because they're all fucking racist. But yeah, the bottom trailer though was my aunt. And it was at the time where she was married to her first husband. And he was a dick. Still is. But what she would do for us is that she put on a Star Wars movie, right? And when the space battle scene came around, we'd get in like a laundry basket and they would just like fling us around in a laundry basket like we were in starships. And it's
adorable.
I always remember that room and just sitting in the baskets watching the Star Wars movies because they had all of the movies up until episode 3 came out, because this is before it came out. So
right.
I'd watch episode 1 and 2, and then I'd watch the prequels and then the original trilogy. And then 3 came out and they were like, yeah, they took me to go see it and it was great. And my Star Wars was set in stone from there.
It was a nice Star Wars story.
Yes. Better than Solo. Star Wars story. My Star Wars story is better.
Yeah.
You know what they should make canon?
Your
Star Wars Blade of Destiny.
Oh, it should be, yeah.
Yeah. Where does that movie take place in? Like, what time period?
I'm not totally sure.
Because, like, Yoda's on the front, Darth Vader's on the back, and you got TIE fighters, and... It looks like it's original trilogy based. I really want to watch it.
Yeah, so charming.
And just, like, send me the link on YouTube, and I just want to sit down and just watch it with my friends and family.
Oh, you should. You'll have a great time.
Oh, yes.
It's very fan-made.
It's okay. It happens. There's some very good fan-made stuff out there that people don't appreciate. They had a bunch of Dragon Ball Z fan stuff where they had like live action, like
live action.
Yeah, live action fan.
Well, anything's better than the movie they did, Evolution.
Nope,
didn't happen.
Nope. We don't talk about that. It's not Dragon Ball Z. It's Dragon Ball Evolution. It's something different.
Yes.
It's not Akira Toriyama. It is Kill Yourself Toriyama. Kill yourself to end the suffering. Looking back at all these like gaming consoles and just bringing back good memories of them.
Yeah, we got a lot of them.
I really want to start a gaming channel now.
Well, you're free to borrow any game you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was actually thinking of like, dude, if PlayStation, if that PlayStation game was compatible with the PlayStation 2, I would be like, yeah, I could definitely borrow Final Fantasy 7.
I think it depends on the PS2 model.
Yeah, because mine actually plays Final Fantasy 9 on
Yeah.
PlayStation 1.
I know I used to have a PS3 that would play all of them, PS2 and PS1.
Yeah, somebody must have modded it out.
No, it was one of the original PS3s.
Oh yeah, because they would let you play all your cross-platform games.
Yeah.
And then they cut it out because they wanted to start selling more games for it.
Yeah.
So, really the only consoles I have right now is a PlayStation 3 and my computer. And a PlayStation. Actually, I got a PlayStation 2 as well, so definitely. If I had some PlayStation 2 games to play, I'd play them. Be really nice.
The only thing I play lately is the Switch. I really like the Switch.
Oh, you've got Kingdom Hearts?
I do.
I want to borrow. You have Kingdom Hearts 2?
I think I just have the first one.
If you have just the first...
You're free to borrow it if you want.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. You got Final Fantasy 12 as well.
I do.
Yeah.
I never finished that one.
There's this boss battle in the Final Fantasy 12 game where you have to fight this giant ass dragon, and it has like over like 1 million HP almost.
Yeah, there was some tough battles.
You're like laying its toe out with sword attacks. Shit, definitely, I want to borrow Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
That would be wonderful because I was watching Oni plays doing Kingdom Hearts, and they're fucking great at it. This is the guy Julian on there. He plays Kingdom Hearts games a lot, and Ding Dong he likes the games as well. But Chris wasn't really that big on the games. He was more into Final Fantasy 7. Big Final Fantasy 7 fan.
Yeah.
Chill. Be really nice. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're free to do so. Just remind me before you leave today.
Alright.
I never got very far in it. In Kingdom Hearts.
I went through the whole story. I played Kingdom Hearts 2 and beat it too.
So you've been through all the games?
Not all of them. Just the story of that game, and then 2, and then I want to play 3. But I haven't played any of the... I know the story itself, for the most part, because I had a friend of mine that was like huge into like the whole lore of Kingdom Hearts.
You got like Kingdom Hearts 2.8 remix.
Oh, the remixes are just like cuts of the story that you miss out on and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then, added stuff to the game, like boss battles or stuff like that. I can't remember exactly what they put into them, but they have the games for like the other consoles, like Birth by Sleep, 358 Days Over 2, and they had like a Dream Drop Distance, and then they had a Rechain of Memories. They had Chain of Memories, and then they had the PlayStation 2 version, which was Rechain of Memories, which is like horrible because they put the card system into the battling that they had to do for like the Game Boy.
Yeah.
Because then you had to move your character around as well, and then the boss fight against Oogie Boogie. No, you're fighting inside of a... What's his name? The whale from Pinocchio.
Monstro?
Yeah, Monstro. And you can't beat the boss battle in it because, like, you're trying so hard to defeat him.
Wait, you really can't beat him?
Yeah, you can, but it's like almost impossible if you don't know how to play the card system right. Because you gotta move your character around as well doing it, and then you gotta use the cards to attack and then draw, and then...
Right.
It's horrible.
I like the card game in Final Fantasy VIII. I thought that was fun.
What was it called again?
I don't remember what it was called. It was a lot of fun though.
Oh yeah, the card game.
And then they had one in Final Fantasy IX. Its own card game.
Yeah, a lot of the card games that they passed on were like about the same, just like different rules.
Yeah.
Give you different versions of it. It was pretty cool. I remember playing Kingdom Hearts 2, and I was gonna say this earlier whenever we were talking about like Cloud and Sephiroth, and when you go back to Hollow Bastion in Kingdom Hearts 2, there's up on this little plateau area, the secret. You kind of like walk up there, and then you end up getting in a cutscene with Sephiroth. You had to fight him, and
he's really hard, isn't he?
Yep.
I know he was impossible in the first game.
This is like after I beat the main story and went back. He swings his sword once at me and it lays me out to like red level HP, and then strikes again with a backup attack and then destroys me. And you can't get any distance from him because his sword is so long.
Yeah, he's impossible.
And when you fight Cloud in the first game in the Olympus Coliseum and you can win the Metal Chocobo.
Yeah.
Metal Chocobo Keyblade. He just charges at you. It's his best move. He's just going, ha! 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 And then he just swings at you. Like, he's not hard to beat, but at the same time, like, getting up to that point and how far back you are in the game is kind of hard. But going back into it and beating him is not hard.
Right.
And they give it to you anytime, really. You can play the tournaments and stuff. I want to do, if I get to play, oh, you have Shadow of the Colossus, too.
I do.
Oh, and, oh god, not getting Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, that game's so good, though.
It's a good game, but have you played Ninja Gaiden 2 for the Xbox 360?
I haven't played 2. I've only played 1 and 3.
Ninja Gaiden 2 is so fucking hard. I played it for Xbox 360, and I actually like, bought it, played it, and I sold it.
It's too hard.
Yeah, I got so mad at it because there's like one of the first bosses you fight, and you're in this small room. It circles around, and you sit there and try to lay attacks on him, but he parries all of your attacks,
It's
and then
just
just
not
fucking
fair.
murders you. Yeah.
I know the first game was hard. I don't know if you played the NES games.
Though they're ridiculously hard.
I got to the final boss in the first game. I couldn't beat him. It's so difficult. And when you die, it sends you back a bunch of levels.
It does?
Yeah. Because normally you have unlimited continues in that game. You die on a level, you just start the level over.
Yeah.
But for some reason, if you die on the final boss, you get sent back like 3 levels in the game.
You had to go complete all 3 of those levels.
Again, and they're the hardest levels in the game.
That's...
Oh, and have you played Super Ghouls and Ghosts? Or Ghosts and Goblins, any of those games?
I haven't played Ghosts and Goblins, but I know what it is, and I've seen gameplay for it. Ghosts and Goblins is hard.
If you want to beat that game, you have to beat it twice. Because you beat the final boss, oh no, you get sent back to the beginning of the game. You got to beat it with this pendant or whatever.
And you gotta beat it all over again.
Yep.
It's so bad.
I was determined though. I got past it.
Playing the fucking Castlevania games for the Sega Genesis. Those were pretty fun.
Yeah.
There's a Jurassic Park game on the Sega Genesis that was so fucking hard to get the grasp of when I was a kid that I couldn't
Like a top-down game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I have that game for the Super Nintendo.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Like at the top down where you gotta shoot things, and it's like once you grab the game and start playing, you can't just figure out how to play it whenever you do it. You gotta like look and be like, okay, what's the manual say?
What do I do?
Yeah. How do I kill things? The dinosaurs have eaten me. My arms are gone.
Oh, that game was hard.
Yeah.
I couldn't get very far in it.
People want a good Jurassic Park game and play that fucking game.
That's a really long game too, and there's no password system. You can't save. So
You just gotta keep playing?
yeah, you gotta play the whole game all at once if you want to beat it. That's a really long game.
That's a game that I could do like an hour-long podcast on.
Yeah.
Just don't fucking die. Oh man. So yeah, so does your game collection expand from here? Is this pretty much it?
We got Super Nintendo games up there with the N64 games. Genesis games on the shelf there.
Oh yeah.
Some GameCube games. There may be some games behind the games on that shelf because they ran out of space.
Yeah, it looks like there are some games back there. I'm gonna check out your PlayStation 2 library.
Okay.
And you'll know where to find me whenever like you
Yeah,
get
I
back.
trust you.
And we have evidence, so if anybody's like, yeah, these guys stole my games, we have audio footage of him asking for the games.
Audio footage. Have to bring this into court.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to listen to the whole podcast in court while I'm making my case.
Yeah, they're gonna learn about my secret. I killed a man with a pinky toe. Yeah, I can't bring that to court. Get caught.
15 years in jail.
15 years for choking a man with your pinky toe. I still have that pinky toe to this day.
I broke my pinky toe once. It was the only bone I ever broke.
The one bone that you can't put a cast on.
Yeah, the one you can't go to the doctor for. They're not going to do anything.
I broke my toe. Put it back. That's all you gotta do. Put it back. And the doctor dies.
I just taped it to the other toe, and it got better after a while.
You just taped it to your...
Yeah.
Oh, nice. You doctored it up, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you put a little toothpick in there to keep it straight?
I should have.
Put a little piece of wood underneath so it'll keep it level. Just tape it to your other toe. Just take a big thing of duct tape and just wrap it around your foot.
That doesn't work with other body parts. You can't tape your arm to the other arm if you break your arm. That doesn't work.
It's kind of pointless, isn't it? Running around with a dead arm, just stuck like this all day. Like,
It's like you're in handcuffs all day.
they're taped together. I can't get it off. You'd cut it on the kitchen counter. It's like you're in a house with all rounded edges and you accidentally tape your arms together.
This was a terrible idea.
I knew I shouldn't have avoided the sharp countertops that I could run into. I used them against my enemies.
What's a controversial view that you have on something?
Controversial view?
Yeah.
Like, does it have to be my own controversial view, or is it like
anything?
Like the controversy surrounding... I feel like the controversy surrounding the Papa John's incident here recently is pretty since I work at the place, and honestly I just think it's funny.
What happened exactly?
Okay,
so Papa John said some racist things.
See, like, what the thing is that coming from the evidence I found, like what he said and like how it went down and what I can get from the reports on the internet, it's just like one. But I'm gonna say that I think that he was not intentionally trying to be racist.
Yeah.
But he was trying to make a point. But the point was that he used the word itself.
Yeah.
Trying to make a point about like something that kind of already made its point over the years. And it was something about like apparently he said that, Colonel Sanders called people, that word.
Well, context matters.
Yeah, context. You gotta keep in mind that was like the 19-somethings, not now. Back when racist people were like not frowned upon.
Yeah.
You just can't say that anymore. No, you can't even mention it because it's such a bad topic. And the thing is that racism only exists because we, like just not like actual like like deep underground like racism like from like corporation or government, but like personal like interaction. It stemmed from just it existing. Like it doesn't need to. It's pointless. Right. You know what I mean? It's just something that holds us back from being and knowing people that are pretty cool people. Like,
yeah.
Just on a very grounded sense.
I don't know why there's such a focus on skin color, though. You don't see people who are bigoted against tall people.
Like, yeah, like, what are you scared of? Their skin is brown? You scare me, your skin is darker. Men with indifferent skin tones than mine scare me.
Imagine if we treated bald people like that. So I would give you a ride in my cab, but you're bald.
Yeah, I'd accept your bus ticket, mister, but you're fucking bald. I can't.
You're bald. I can't.
We don't allow bald people on this train. There's a bunch of bald people in the back. What about them? It's like, oh, those are executives. Those are the owners of the train. They can do what they want. We don't like bald people because their heads shine and it distracts the driver.
Racist against bald people now. The bald race.
Baldest. You hairist of fag. You hate on people with the lack of hair stems. Hair stems.
Hair stems.
You like the people without hair on their heads.
Well, we would serve you, but you have a mustache.
Yeah.
You get that out of here.
We'd serve you, but your dick turns too far to the left. We can tell by the bulge in your pants. You should put that away, sir.
Just things that don't matter.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what people look like. It just matters on whether or not they're a dick.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. It's like, I'm not gonna judge, anybody for their skin color. I mean, you could be black, white, Asian. If you're an asshole, then you're an asshole. You know what I mean? You should start judging people on how they act and how they are as people, and not what they look like.
Right.
Yeah, and we'd have a better society, because then we wouldn't be angry at people for things that they can't help. We'd be angry at people for things they could have helped, like, being stupid and not knowing how to live and harmonize with other human beings.
I do make assumptions about certain people. Like,
I can't help it. Like, I think, like, we should take racism and not make it so much a serious topic of, like,
yeah.
this person said this about my race. I think we could just take the stereotypes and we can have fun with them.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, that's all they are, stereotypes.
Yeah.
And there's a philosophy that some people have come up with where, like, comedians will be like, if it's not worth, if it's not worth laughing about, then what is it? That's what comedy is finding the things that you wouldn't normally
Yeah, I
laugh
never
about.
get upset when comedians talk about touchy subjects.
I just think the comedian's job is to be absurd about little things on stage. And
You
that's
can
what
make
they do.
anything funny.
Yeah. Anything should be funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get personal, like, intention, but, like, at the same time, like, it's just, it's supposed to be for humor's sake.
Mm-hmm.
And we get all sensitive about things that we get, just rub us the wrong way. When, in reality, those things that do rub us the wrong way, why do they rub us the wrong way in the beginning?
I think it's funny that it's a stereotype that Mexicans are lazy, but it's also a stereotype that Mexicans are really hardworking.
See, that's when you can tell that people were bullshitting on their racist stuff. They just ran out of ideas. They're like, first they work too much and they work for other people, and now they're lazy. Like, come on, man. If you're gonna be mean towards another race, at least try a little bit harder.
Yeah.
At least be good at being racist before you be racist. If you're gonna have a reason to hate somebody, hate them for that reason, and don't just come up with bullshit reasons. Like, don't hate your, black coworker because they're black. Hate them because they don't know how to do their job.
Mm.
But don't hate them for their skin color. Just, like, don't hate them at all. Just tell them they're doing a bad job. Yeah, but racism is not a good thing. But at the same time, racism is something that halfway created by us.
True.
And then the other half is kind of blended into society and how we've come to this. So, I mean, it's something that we've got to get over.
I would agree. Very good.
Just why not have fun with it? Take the stereotypes, and they're stereotypes. That's what they are.
I think stereotypes are funny sometimes.
I love white people stereotypes.
Oh, they're the best.
So, like, at the same time, you can't say that they're all right,
No.
but they're not all wrong.
A lot of stereotypes are true. Like Asian people tend to do better in school.
Yeah, and it's not because Asian people are better at math.
It's just the culture.
It's just because their parents will fucking kill them and disown them if they don't. It's a culture thing. It's not a race thing.
You don't see a lot of homeless Asian people in America.
It's because they're all they're all at home. They're all like. You don't have a lot of homeless Asian people in here because there's either A, people move to this country and get better jobs, or B, they were born here and they're just of Asian race and not, like, cultural descent.
And they tend to be the highest paid demographic.
Yeah. And you don't see a lot of Asian homeless people here is because we don't have a lot of Asian people that are homeless here.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody that's homeless and Asian that I didn't know about.
Better listening to this podcast right now.
Because they're homeless.
Yeah.
With their internet.
On the computer at the library.
Yeah. The internet.
Oh, I used to live at the library pretty much. I spent so much time there using the computers back before we had one. Back before we had the internet.
Oh man, like I used a library computer like twice.
Twice?
Yeah, because I never really had to use a library computer because I never really used a computer up until like school.
Right.
And then whatever computer I had, it was like somebody else's or using somebody else's until I got my phone. I got my first phone in high school.
Okay.
My first smartphone, or my first actual phone that worked functionally, and it was a smartphone. So I was like, yeah, and I ended up paying for it out of my own money without knowing. Because my aunt
knowing.
Yeah, my aunt and uncle got it for me, and they got it out of my little savings box that I saved up money for. But it's like, yeah, I paid for my phone.
Well, you were gonna buy it anyway, right?
I was saving for a car.
Oh, so it wasn't quite what you wanted.
Yeah. I guess my phone's come in handy though. So.
Yeah.
And this isn't even my old one. This is my new one. You remember my old one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one with the red case.
Yes.
Yeah, I ended up destroying that phone.
You destroyed it on purpose.
At least the screen on purpose.
Okay.
Accidentally, but the intention was to purposely throw it.
So you accidentally did it on purpose.
Yeah, I meant to throw the phone. I just didn't mean to crack the screen.
Okay, that makes sense.
Just it was being stupid, and it started cutting out or like freezing up, and I could never get it to unfreeze. So I turned it off, and I got mad at it one day and threw it on my kitchen floor. Shattered the screen, and I had to like work with that until it decided to just give up on me. And I was like, fuck it, I gotta get a new phone. Now this one hasn't wronged me too much yet. It's still got issues.
I didn't have my first phone until, goodness, a few years ago.
Oh, really? Yeah, I was supposed to give you my old phone, and then it fucked up.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, but then my brother gave me his phone.
Yeah.
So
now you can do all your mobile stuff.
Yeah, I don't call people. I don't have service or anything.
I don't call.
I just use it to take pictures, mostly.
Just take pictures and get on Facebook and stuff. Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a good idea.
I'm still the worst texter. Like, I'm so slow when it comes to typing on a phone. I'm the worst.
Like, I can type fast. It's just, if I type fast, most of the time, I will misspell everything.
Yeah.
It's the only downside.
If I got a keyboard, however, I'm a really good typist. A touch typist.
Typist.
Yeah. Where you don't look at it, you just kind of know where everything is.
It's like, my final note, it would be, like, I had to take those kind of classes for typing in middle school, and I hated it because they did the whole like cardboard box over the computer.
Oh, where you couldn't see the keys?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we had to learn how to use the keys by like memory and hand placement, like you're supposed to. But I was like, fuck that, and I'm just looking over there and going, yeah, let's pass this class if Mr. Smelly isn't looking.
Mr. Smelly.
Yeah, that was his name.
Oh.
I won't reveal his first name because I don't remember, but his last name was Smelly. He didn't live up to his name though. That was good. He had a flight simulator in his classroom too.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
Old, like the joystick flight simulator.
I've been in one of those.
Yeah, but it was like for the computer, and I really wanted to do it, and he said we could do it one day, and we never did.
Aw.
And I was so disappointed.
I would be disappointed too. I never got to go to school. I was always homeschooled, so I probably missed out on a lot.
Yeah, so that's cool though. You were homeschooled.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to deal with the social pressures of school.
Yeah.
You get to build yourself into your own being and become confident with yourself, and not what all the other little bitches at school were thinking.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I kind of became socially awkward though.
Yeah, it's the only downside to being yourself. It's just like if you're too much yourself, then you lose contact with other people.
It's a very true stereotype of homeschoolers, I think.
Yeah. I've known people that were homeschooled that were really cool.
Yeah.
It's not like all of them are bad. Little cunts get to do things at work that we do at school. We get to do things at work.
I did get to go to kindergarten though. That was the only time I went to a school.
What happened after that?
I went into homeschool.
Did bad something bad happen?
No, my mom just asked me if I wanted to be homeschooled, and I said yes. I didn't put any thought into it. It's like, I get to stay home? Yay!
And then you realized, oh shit.
This is still a lot of work.
Yeah. But I have to do it in the confines of my own room where all the distractions are.
And for most of it, I was my own teacher, so that was kind of interesting.
So you had to like learn it yourself?
Yeah.
I think I would have had a better time learning it myself. Because
I did not like school because like there's teachers that didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
And you could obviously tell that they didn't know what they were doing because they'd be like an English teacher that just started doing math. That was my first algebra teacher. Was an English teacher that
Someone who just didn't know math.
I mean, she knew what math was. She could write it on the board and erase it really quickly.
Oh.
And give us work, and then give us like a time to do it in class, and then we had to like return the homework and whatever we did in class that we didn't complete. And I failed so bad.
Oh no.
And then I took algebraic connections and got a C in that. And
Algebraic connections. That sounds scary.
Yeah, it's like remedial. It's like a algebra help for people who need to learn algebra in different parts. So you had like algebra 1A and 1B.
So I did really good in algebra, but then when I got to college and I took an algebra class, I remembered nothing, like zero. I didn't know any algebra. I'd forgotten it all because I never used any of it.
When are you gonna go do like the square root of 64 plus this minus that? Like,
Never. I never used any of that, and I just forgot everything.
it's like, man, I gotta go plug my controller into my game console. Looks like I gotta know what the square root of -5 is. It's like I'm not playing Yoshi's Story today. God damn it.
Dang it.
That's why I never unplug the controller. You have to learn like algorithms to move your body.
Oh.
As you get older, math becomes part of your life. You have to use the square root of 5 to move your left finger
Every day.
If you get it wrong, you end up your finger falls off. If you mess up 3 times, the limb falls off and you had to reset it.
Oh, that's the worst.
I'd hate if life had to do that. Yeah, this is a really nice podcast. I appreciate you having me on.
Thanks for being on.
Yeah.
I guess we'll wrap it up, Skis. It's been 2 hours.
Oh,
Goodness.
It doesn't feel like 2 hours when you're just sitting here talking about things that really aren't going to matter in about 5 years.
True. Well, I kind of like that there's no real structure to any of this.
Yeah, it's just something that where you can kind of banter on, and
Yeah.
it's very comfortable.
Kind of like I like the Joe Rogan podcast. That one's my favorite.
Joe Rogan's
Because he just brings on everyone, and they talk about whatever.
Yeah, because that's what good podcasts are. It's just like you being yourself, and you have your formula, right? And you go and throw in some guests, and you get some flair from other people.
Yeah.
And you can make a really good, like, just audio of just a bunch of people hanging out, having a good time, and learning something new.
Well, I hope this has been insightful for the negative 14 people listening. But
Negative 15 if you count my soul.
oh.
So, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh wait, I gotta do my sign off. That's so good.
Oh, your sign off?
Yeah, I gotta say stay squirrely.
Stay squirrely.
Yeah.
Little girly.
Who's your kisses?